Hello and welcome to the Foul Play YouTube channel. I'm Jack, the Lone Ranger for right now. We'll see if anybody is able to come and join. I think Shuri is going to try to come on here in a bit. She has some other things to take care of. Let me turn this down. There we go. So anyway, we're here. We're going to be diving back in, I guess, for the last time on the CASO Dispatch calls. We are at the very end. November 12th, 2005, Channel 7. I've listened to a little bit of, some of the, we talked about the radio traffic. It's so bad. I just don't know if I want to torture people with that. Um, there may be some other things that, potentially could be done to reduce some of the white noise and so forth, but not really a lot because the quality, and you can hear it in these phone calls too. Now, some of them are pretty clear, then others are really bad. I can't speak to how that worked out, but it is what it is. There's nothing that we could do to change that. But the radio traffic is so much worse. It's really pretty horrendous. Yeah, sure, there are a few here and there that are not too bad, but then you go right back into another audio file, and it's terrible. So anyway, um, we talk about this a little bit more after we finish this. Uh, I'm not sure, what I'm going to do next for the open mic. Um, we've covered so much, and some of it we've covered multiple times that need to be talked about. I mean, there are a lot of other things that are out there. There are so many cases that have happened since this case, and making a murderer. I mean, sure, documentaries were kind of popular, to some degree, true crime and all that before Making Murder, but Making Murder really broke the dam. If you think back, I've been watching this kind of stuff for a long time, um, long time. Making Murder really broke the dam as far as how. Um, let's just say that those that are really good at making documentaries, not good. Again, I'm not stupid, and I don't think anyone else is. This is about making money. But at the same time, if they can educate, you know, uh, a lot of us that are interested in seeing, the police, the judicial branch, this brings up another point, how our government is really supposed to function, and the three branches of government, the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. And this blurring of the lines between the executive and the judicial. The police are part of the executive branch. They are the ones that enforce law. For them to be allowed to step, a toe or a foot into the judicial and guide cases. This is I'm getting off into another tangent here, but it truly is part of it. And I've had to think of it this way for a long time. I don't really talk about it in this much because politics, you can get into this, you know, polarizing stuff, and I'm not going there. There's a lot of other channels that get into that. But the blurring of the lines within our system of government and how it's truly supposed to function. Uh, we talk about police corruption. Well, okay, yeah, we know it's a real thing. It is. And I thought about maybe for moving forward after this, we take a break from the Avery Dassey cases. Uh, Maybe bring in something new. The Karen Reed case is one of them, and I haven't followed it like really tightly, but I followed it fairly close. There are others out there that have done a really good job of following and bringing those cases like that to light, and some of the details. The details are everything of what happened in that case, and it is just just makes my eyes pop out of my head. The level of corruption that went on, proven or otherwise, it's certainly implied. I mean, I'll just take this one instance, and I promise I'll shut up and we'll say hi to everybody and we'll move on. But in this case, of course, the Massachusetts State Police were involved, and there were two of these troopers. I think they were troopers. Don't hold me to that, but they were definitely law enforcement. They knew that their phones were going to be seized. They knew it. They had to know it because they both got rid of their phones. Got rid of them. Destroyed the SIM. Destroyed their SIM cards. Got new phones. Gone. Boom. They did it the day before that their phones were going to be seized. So don't tell me that they didn't know. And it makes me really sick that that kind of thing is still going on in this day and age. And you got to ask, why would a cop do that? That they, really didn't have anything to hide. And I'm not actually surprised that they weren't warned. You have to maintain, anything, any information you have, electronic or otherwise, must be retained. You can't get rid of it. I know that happens in civil lawsuits. I can't speak about criminal, but it was really a bother to me when I found that out. Nosy is the one that actually said that on X. I saw that post and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I just blown away. And there's so many other aspects of that case, which that led me into this point. This Proctor, he was a state trooper, and all the things this guy did while he was investigating this case brings up another point that this guy, how could his superiors not know what he was going to reveal on the stand? They came out after the trial, when this mistrial was declared, and said they were immediately opening an investigation because they just found out about all this stuff he talked about. Well, how'd that work? How did they not know? I don't believe it. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I don't believe it. So to me, that means that they withheld that information, knowing what this guy had done, to let him get on stand and testify, to try to, put forth whatever to convict Karen Reed. Anyway, everybody's got a side of the fence they can stand on that, and any other trial or whatever investigation. There's so many things that have come out since Making Murder. I will say the Avery Dassey cases are still, they still have a pretty good place in that arena, but of course there's really nothing going on. I mean, there are other things that we really never talked about as far as going into the detail. We've never really covered, at least foul play, at least not to any degree. Now you can go back to 2017 and Casey's original PCR filing. That's never been done in detail. There are other aspects. I don't know that I want to jump into that. Hey, there's Jay.
Hi, you alright?
How you doing?
I'm not bad. I thought I'll nip on if you're the only one that's on, so I thought I'd join you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm just rambling on about these other cases and so forth. We're just in a we have no idea when the Court of Appeals is going to rule. I mean, it could be next week, but I really have a feeling it's going to be more towards the end of the year, maybe even to next year. It's just hard to say. They've got as much time as they want to change their mind.
I think they'll drag it out, won't they?
Exactly. You think what?
I just think they'll just drag it out.
Well, I do. I mean, I'm split on this, but I want them to take the time they really need to take to do it right.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of non-committal, but it's really not. I just want them to look at every aspect of what's going on here and make the correct legal ruling.
Like you say, they got to take their time. They got to look through everything, and they got to see it for what it is.
That's right. Yep. Well, anyway, I'm not going to belabor that. Again, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do for moving forward after this. Again, I'm really kind of thinking about taking a break, but then I know other people kind of see it, but when you start getting into other complicated cases, it really gets difficult. And I don't want to get too far off deep into something because this is my main focus right now until we have some kind of next step in these cases for, I don't know what can be done about Brendan. I truly don't. Clemency certainly is a possibility, but legally, I don't know what a narrator in Drizzen can do, short of having some new information. I just don't know what can be done. I don't know what they could challenge. I don't know if they will do it. They have to have some chance in hell to try to succeed, I think, before they would really jump in with both feet to try to file something to get him back into court. Clearly, there's serious problems. I mean, we're going through Doc and Beverly's reading with the crew, and going into Brendan's these interrogations, which are just shocking. They really are shocking when you break them down. So, yeah, 3 by 4s. That there's so much in these cases that that we've been through it so many times of the things that have just gone on that are just you can't put any other finger on it other than to say what the hell's going on in the Wisconsin Crown Lab, what the hell's going on at Calumet County and Manitowoc County, what the hell's going on at the DCI. What are you people doing when you have significant evidence that's just gone? You have a lab analyst with 2 decades of experience, 2+ I guess, but at least 2 decades of experience, makes such utter jokes of her testing of the key and Atom FL. It's just laughable. In today's world, I think she would be laughed out of court, completely laughed out of court. It's so bad what they did.
Oh, she was just terrible, wasn't she? And she knew what she was doing when she deviated from protocol as well. So,
I wanted to address this last night. I didn't get a chance. Justin, I'm not sure who you're addressing as Anthony. I don't see Anthony here, so maybe that's something I'm just not seeing, but I'm not seeing anyone named Anthony. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but let's please keep it civil and straight. If there's an issue, let's if it's a private issue, please address it privately. Oh, I see. He is 3 RAV4s. Well, okay, we'll address them like that. And if you think that there's someone else, that's a different matter. But anyway, I want to say hello to, of course, Justin, Xenia, Sheila, Pete Dassey. Hey, Pete, how you doing? To Brennan, we said hello. Jazz Naz, Sheila Hawkins. There's Gloria, Tony, Donna Wolfwich. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on and on about what's coming next for the open mic. At the same time, I want to do something that people are interested in, and I don't know what else we can do right now other than cover the same ground we've already covered again. And I don't think people really want to do that because a lot of this stuff we've covered multiple times. Folks know it as well as I do, and many people. To just go on saying the same thing again and again, I think it defeats the purpose, and people will get tired of listening to it. So I don't really think that I want to do that. I mean, if there's something specific, sure, we can talk about it. But as far as a series like this, and we did the Manitowoc calls, which were interesting. I mean, I have a number of open records requests. A lot of it's for things that we do not have. Certainly, I would put that up, and we talk about it. But short of something new coming in, I'm not sure what else we can talk about at the moment. So if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know. I'm certainly, you can let me know in the comments, or I'm certainly available on Discord. If you're not on Discord, maybe you know someone that's on Discord, please let me know, and I'll maybe take a look. Glad to do that. And this series with Brendan is there's so much more and I'm certainly interested in helping whatever I can to do with that, because I think Brendan holds a special place for so many of us because of his age and how he was treated by the system and by so many people. It's another indication of what the hell's really going on here. What did they do and why did they do it? They had to know that what he was telling him he was making up. They had to know that. There's just no way around it, in my opinion. So, hey, there's Mary. Yeah, uh, yeah, Justin, I understand, yeah, and that's being civil is an expectation of everyone. That includes me and any other guest that's here, on the panel. Uh, just treat that, people can debate, and if temperatures rise, step away for a minute, cool off, come back to the keyboard, respond civilly. Just because somebody responds one way doesn't mean you have to do so in kind. Try not to get mad. I've been down that road many times, and it's just it's so counterproductive. So anyway, let's get back to it here and get done, because I think we're going to be finished relatively quickly. I'm sure that there's a lot of this because we're into the 12th, and remember they turned the property back over on the 12th back to the Averys. I think around midday or so, somewhere around that time frame. I don't know exactly what time. I can't recall, but that did happen on this day. Um, I know that there's video that they went around and shot. I think maybe Tyson or one of the other law enforcement officers that we've got or someone's got that it's available. Um, but the family gets back on the property. But there are other there are a few interesting calls here. I don't think there's anything ground shattering or it's going to make your eyes pop out in this batch of calls. But this was my intention to go through them and capture what we could. Anything of interest that might pop out, could be records requested. I mean, there are things that have popped out, and this would have. I'm going to submit another records request for recordings that I know occurred. I know they did because they're and also recordings. I'm not talking about specifically dispatch calls. I'm talking about calls that would come in and go to Captain Roosh or go to Dettering or Bill Tyson that were recorded and got clipped. Now they can say, "Well, that's private." Blah blah blah. Well, if somebody called in with a tip or something related to the case, I really think that should have been turned over because we hear a number of calls, and I'll tell you one that I think that's always in the forefront of my mind. It's when Sipple called in to talk to Captain Rush about finding these 2 5-gallon buckets of human bones. And remember, Sipple was not by himself. It may appear that way because of that call, but there's a radio transmission at about 30 minutes prior where he calls in that he's going back into some quarry. I'm not sure which one. I think everybody kind of thinks it's Redont, but I don't know that for positive, the Redont quarry. But whatever. He and at least one DCI agent, are going back into a quarry. He says it in that radio call. And then 30 minutes later, he calls in to talk to Captain Roosh about finding these human bones. These human bones are not documented anywhere. There's not any photographs of them that I'm aware of that are anywhere. And I want to know what he did with them. And I can't find anything. So, but the thing is that call in was switched to the captain's phone line, and it was recorded. This is not a specific. I mean, it's a dispatch call. It came into the dispatch, but then it got transferred, and that call was captured. So there are other ones too. That's not the only one. There are other ones. So that tells me that these calls within that system there, at CASO there in Crippets, these calls were recorded, and I'd like to have them. Doubt that I'll ever get them, but that's not going to stop me from requesting them. I'm going to. I'm sure it's going to get denied, or they'll ignore me like they're doing now. They're completely ignoring me. I've got a request in from June 3rd. I can't get anything out of them other than the original request. Actually, I did modify that request. I think the last modification I made to that request was on June 12th. I can't get anything. Nothing. Supposed to have some kind of answer within 10 days for simple requests. That request is not that simple. It's been almost 2 months since the original request, and my modification was actually pretty simple. It wasn't like I changed everything. It wasn't like that at all. It was pretty simple modification to my original request. So I can't get anything. So is that how they're allowed to operate, just to ignore someone that makes a legal open records request? So anyway, I'm going to request these calls that I'm sure were captured. Now, do they still have them? I have no idea, but I'm certainly going to ask for them. So anyway, let's move on. So remember these calls. The clock starts at midnight. I don't remember exactly where this starts at, but I'll try to announce times as we go through. And as always, I'll skip forward through anything that's irrelevant, which I'm going to guess. Again, here we are on the 12th. There's probably going to be several of them that are going to be irrelevant. Questions, please put a Q in front of it in the live chat, and we'll try to get it. Hey, there's T1. Hey, thanks for coming, T. That's all. Some of the bones were on the border between Redonce and the Manitowoc County gravel pit. Might be the reason for the confusion. Well, yeah, I mean, they definitely were. Hold on, my cat is being ridiculous. Hold on a second, I got to mute. Jay, if you want to talk about anything, please go ahead. Give me just 1 second. I apologize for that. My cat jumped up and tried to get on my keyboard. Okay. Hey, Sheila. Thank you for becoming a new member. Appreciate that. All right, so let's move on and get started on this. And here we go.
Hi. Oh, never mind. I seen a truck that was kind of rolled over in the ditch on County E, right past the neighborhood bar and grill by France. But there's an officer there already, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Hello.
Hello, this is Sergeant Heisler calling from Monte Gaming.
Hello.
We have a James F. Fisher that we're dealing with in reference to a domestic.
Moving on.
A couple weeks ago. Badger.
What I usually do is then think. Okay.
4:10 a.m.
Joe.
Hey, this is Jeremy up in dispatch. Question.
No questions can be answered back in the jail.
Well, you're going to have to try. Audi Gaming has an individual on a domestic. He's on signature bond through our department.
Moving on.
And yeah, we can.
Good morning, Sean at TAQ in Green Bay.
Hi.
Anything going on?
Nothing.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
5:09 a.m.
Hello?
Yeah, he didn't answer.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
I'll only call on the radio just a minute.
Okay.
Nice dropping on the call. Just boom. Nothing.
702? Do you know who might have the evidence keys?
What? 5:15 in the morning. And they're looking for the evidence keys. Again.
I know Bill came back on our shift yesterday, but I was in the back of the jail.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he came for that or what he came in for.
Well, he came in and got the keys. He ended up taking the evidence room keys all the way back up to the crime scene.
Okay.
So I couldn't get in the evidence room to drop some evidence off. Do you know if he dropped them back off at the jail?
He did not. Well, I was working as far as I know. And I was there in days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been here since 3 now, and nobody's been back.
Okay. So probably still has the evidence room keys now.
Probably.
Alrighty. Well, I guess I'll just carry these goddamn keys around all day. Okay. Yeah, because I've got the keys for that storage facility.
Okay.
I got the skid stuff there.
Which one's in mine? You got the vehicles in mine, the skid steer?
The skid steer and the golf cart.
Okay.
So is Bill coming in today?
I would think so. Let me look. What number is he?
That's interesting. I don't really
Come
understand.
on. 36, is he? He's supposed to be in 3 to 11.
Okay.
Just call him at home. He's a sergeant. You got free roam. You can call him at home now.
No, I don't want to bother him.
Okay.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yes.
I would leave a voicemail, but he probably wouldn't get it. Go put a note right in front of this pigeonhole.
Okay.
And say Schultz still has keys.
Okay.
That way no one will get it.
Okay.
Hey, we'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Yes. Hi, this is Megan calling from Channel 2. Just wondering if you had any updates for us this morning.
Nothing.
Are there still going to be people out at the Avery complex doing searching?
Let me check just a minute.
Thank you.
5:19 a.m.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Ray, WHBY News in Appleton.
Good morning, Ray.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I know.
Mhm.
God. The name of Hallmark and Avery just keeps on kind of bouncing from one side of my brain to the other.
Well, it goes through my dreams too, you know.
You know, it's something you just don't forget because I've been on this thing since last Saturday. So today's the 8th day I've been working this story.
Mm-hmm.
4 days in Hilbert, in Michigan, and one in Chilton yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
And it just doesn't leave you. You're constantly thinking about that story. So
I think there's going to be a lot of people thinking about this for a long time.
yeah. I see on the newswire this morning, one family member, Chuck, is saying that we as a family still believe he was set up.
Oh. You know, I was thinking about that. You know, that takes an awful lot of time and commitment to figure out how to do that. Much
No, it really doesn't.
less do it.
DNA evidence is maybe 1 in 650 billion chances that it's wrong.
Exactly.
DNA is so exact.
Exactly.
So, anything else during there, or is it pretty quiet? Or
Well, nothing going right now.
uh-oh, that sounds like an invitation.
No, I'm just saying that we don't want it anymore.
You don't want it? Nothing serious overnight, huh?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh God, you guys have had enough. But guys is just kind of a generic term for you people who are working.
Oh, I know.
You've had enough for activity for a long time.
Yep.
To start calling you again next Monday or Tuesday when Ken files the information officially in Manitowoc County.
Yep.
So
And then we'll be hearing about that.
yeah, and it'll go on and on and on. Good. Thank you.
You have a good day.
You make it a good day too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
If you heard that, that's kind of how bad it is on the dispatch channel. The radio traffic channel. I don't know why this is on here.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, Midway Lane, that isn't anywhere near us right now, is it? I can't find it on my map.
29.
You're at
7:40 a.m.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
I got Midway Place, I got Midway Road, and
I'm not sure. This is kind of irrelevant.
That's both.
I'm gonna move
want to
on.
make sure.
in Winnebago County. Wait.
Moving on.
Um,
I think Midway is all in Manassas, so
Same call.
be happy.
Bye. Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
How are you today, Marie?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good for what? Huh?
For a couple hours.
For a couple hours. You got me some business?
No.
Huh. Why not?
Because I wasn't driving around last night.
You weren't. Well, the cops were, because I heard them at about 3 o'clock. They were running around. I don't know where the hell they were going.
Goodness sakes.
Like, jeepers, man. Heard the sirens off. Was sleeping, you know? And then the first responder lady next to us, she goes whipping by. I'm like, okay,
moving on.
my wife's parents.
That's exciting.
Videos and stuff.
No.
Dispatch. Good morning. Could you please open this line for Linda? Thank you.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, Marie. God.
Hey.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I get Grit's phone number?
Oh my gosh. Eight 853-3516.
516. Thanks, Frank. Thanks.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, my name is Sandy Dino, and I live in Cribbet. And last Saturday, I just saw something particularly that has just really been on my mind and bothering me.
Okay.
Is there someone that I can do this with, or?
Sure, you can leave it with me.
Okay. Well, I went grocery shopping, and this was before I even knew anything about even Avery being involved in this or anything. But I came home from the grocery store, and I said to my husband, oh, my God, wait. I saw this weird-looking man that looks like a young version of Stephen Avery. Now, I don't know if it could possibly be one of his nephews or what, but he was in the parking lot, and he had he had jeans on and a wide belt and one of those great big silver belt buckles like wrestler wears, kind of.
Okay.
And he pulls a knife out of his pocket, and then it was like a hunting knife, and it was in a brown leather case. And then he looked at it, turned it over, looked at it, stuck it back in his case. I don't know if he realized then that I had been looking at him, and stuck it back in his pocket. And that's the only thing that I've seen, but, I just feel better sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like a black coat on with like one of those capes on the top of the coat, over the back. Just a real weird looking character.
Okay. And this was in Cribbets, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And your name is?
Sandy Dino, B-E-N-O.
And the phone number, Sandy.
Okay, area code 715-854-8284.
Okay, I will give this.
You guys are busy. I hope that I'm not wasting your time.
No, not at all.
I feel better.
We just want to make sure all our bases are covered.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I'll have an investigator give you a call sometime.
Okay. Thank you much.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Roy Frederick's calling, letting you know that I'm going to burn a brush pile this morning.
Moving on.
911.
I must have the wrong number then.
Okay, try again.
Ooh.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, this is Chief Don Davis calling from Heidelberg Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a minor 1050 quick trip parking lot on Double K and Coop Road.
Moving on.
On Old Urban was 983.
Got a 2-car 1050 quick trip parking lot.
Thanks.
It's about a block away, he says.
Sounds good. I'll be waiting.
Welcome. Please. You have no messages.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Marie. It's Diane.
Hi.
Cheryl called me last night and said that the guys didn't have enough tapes there. There were no tapes left. I told Paul that I'd come in today if there were. So I will touch base later with you in the afternoon and come in maybe late afternoon or early evening, depending how many are there, because there's 4 of us coming in tomorrow.
Okay.
So just tell Paul that I'll touch base later because Cheryl said there was nothing left.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Kelly County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, this is Ben at Fox News Channel.
Hello.
Hi, calling about the Stephen Avery murder case. Just quick questions. How do you pronounce the name of the county there? Is it Manitowoc?
Manitowoc.
Manitowoc. Okay. And the woman who was found murdered is Teresa Halbach.
Halbach.
Halbach. And it's Manitowoc.
Manitowoc.
Manitowoc. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey.
Kelly County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, it's Ben at Fox again. I just called. Sorry, can you tell me the pronouncer for the last name again? Is it Halbach?
Halbach, yes.
Halbach. Okay. Thank you.
Kelly County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, it's Jerry calling.
Morning, Jerry.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Who's working in the jail today?
I've got Todd and Denise and Dan.
Okay. Give me Todd or Denise. That'll be good.
Okay.
Or Dan, who's ever available.
Nine 9:08 a.m.
County Jail. I got Jerry on the line. Okay. Go ahead. Hi.
Hi.
And cut off.
794, right?
Rick here.
Hey, are there people supposed to be outside looking around this stuff?
No, I'll go chase them away.
Thanks.
Where are they? By the trailer?
They're next to the whatever is sitting next to the trailer.
Okay, be right up.
Kelly County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, it's John Lee at the Post Crescent. Just wanted to make sure nothing's scheduled today.
Nope.
They didn't change their mind. They get to slow down a little.
They didn't change their mind.
That's good.
9:36 a.m.
Back to normal in your end?
Yeah, a little bit.
As much as it's going to be for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Goodbye.
Bye. Kelly County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, I need to set up a time to meet an officer.
Your name is?
Kelly Gibbons.
How do you spell the last name?
Higgins.
Moving on.
2020.
Are you available now?
No.
Okay, when would you be? Well, if there's an emergency, he's got to go to that.
Yeah.
I can give him a approximate time. You can call about a half an hour before you get there, and we'll let you know what's going on.
Moving on.
3 o'clock is our shift change, so it's got to be 4 o'clock.
11 and 11:30.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
Thanks. Kelly County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning. This is Claudia Heise calling. I have a burning permit.
Moving on.
County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning. This is Peter at the T26. Just check to see if anything happened today.
Nope, it's all quiet.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
It is.
All right. I've been waiting a while for that one.
Oh, yes.
And thanks a lot for all your cooperation last week through all those debacle.
Well, you're
Moving on.
Hi, it's Emily McKessick from Channel 2. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm trying to get to somebody inside the jail. Stephen Avery's had no fear of talking to us in the past and was trying to see if he'd be willing to talk to us today.
I can try transferring you back there. Hold on.
Okay, thanks.
It's going to be cut off soon.
Dispatch.
Hello. Just so you know, when I'm in the back, when I was in B block, it was really loud. And now when I go back there, you can hear something running, like a motor. It's loud. I mean, it's not way loud now, but you never heard it before. Now I can hear it.
In B block?
Well, it's in the back, but when I was in B block, that's when it sounded like it was in the basement really loud. So,
okay.
I can't say for sure if it's in the basement, but I thought it was to the north of the building or in the basement, but it was loud.
Okay.
And we got all our cameras and stuff back up now.
Yeah, we do too, but we're still on generator.
What?
We're still on generator.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm hearing is the generator.
That could be.
So.
Okay, well, Gordy's coming in, so I'll let him know.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Dispatch.
Marie?
Yeah.
Just for your 1043.
Hold on. Go ahead.
On my culprit. The pole coming in, going out the other exit here on the east side. Pole number 308-43C54. Click a squirrel church up there.
Okay, the poll number 30 A is an Adam 43 Charles 54.
Correct.
Yeah, I got the camera on him.
East exit.
Yeah, see it right there?
Don't see it. On the strip up on top, it looks like a squirrel flying on the ground here.
It's ceased.
So far, we'll let him know. Thanks.
Marie,
yes.
Just for your 1043, 801 called and said if any media calls to interview Steve Avery, and if he wants to, they can interview him in the jail.
Okay.
So if any media calls, transfer it back to the jail.
All right.
And we'll take care of it back here.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We'll do that. Thanks.
Yeah, and if Danny's there, tell him we need him.
He's not up here.
Alrighty, bye.
Interesting. At 19 a.m.
Calumet County Sheriff's.
Thanks for calling. This is Tim.
Hi, Tim. This is Maria, Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hi.
My partner called in a power outage earlier.
You
don't need it.
Okay. Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, this is Tim Johnson calling. I'm up to the medical examiner's office. Do you by any chance know if there's maintenance available today? Our lights aren't working up in the office at all.
Yeah,
people.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning. This is 839. You can show me 1042. Okay.
1042. All right, thanks.
Yep.
Dispatch.
This is Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a hold of Jerry? How do we get a hold of him?
418.
Alrighty.
4081.
4081. 418-4081. Alrighty, thank you. Bye.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, this is Dave. Joyce had left a message that you're on generator power.
Yeah, we figured out what happened. A squirrel got a hold of a transformer and blew himself up.
Power transformer or down the road?
It's right at the corner of the building on the east side.
Okay, so everything's okay and the power company's going to take care of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks. Bye.
Calumet County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, it's Kelly. Could you hang on a second, Marie?
Sure.
Hey, is Scott there yet? Oh.
No, I don't think so.
All right, tell him he does not have to come back. Another driver just showed up. We were at one extra car up here. That's right, he brought his personal vehicle. Shit, that ain't gonna work. God dang it. Yeah, I'm still one vehicle up. He's gonna need to bring a driver up.
Okay.
So. All right.
All right. Well,
thanks.
Bye.
10:47 a.m. It's gonna skip an hour. Next call is 11:47. I think. Yeah.
I got him.
Okay. Radio.
Harrison 210 to dispatch.
210, go ahead.
We have a lost little boy on Startman Terrace in Sherwood.
Moving on.
Lorraine Wells' son. He's 210.
12:03 p.m.
It's in the lockbox there?
I believe. County Jail.
Hey, it's Chris.
Hi.
Do you guys have the evidence keys in the lockbox there?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, can I get those?
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
County Sheriff.
Hey, I just thought of something. Not a good time to leave the jail.
Oh, yeah.
Avery's out,
I better go.
and Burns will see that on the camera.
Okay.
1:23 p.m.
Utilities.
Hello. Kellymer County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, this is Terry from the Holstein Utilities.
Hello.
I took care of that emergency locate on Monroe.
Okay.
No problem there. So
All right.
they're happy.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Kellymer County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Mr. Captain Rush, please.
He's not in the office today.
Okay, my name's Kelly. I'm calling from Fox News Channel in New York.
Mm-hmm.
We we work on a show called The Lineup. It focuses on crime and airs between 9 and 10 on Saturday and Sunday night. And tonight we are doing a segment on Teresa Halbach's case.
Mm-hmm.
And we were wondering if there might be someone there who could talk to us about it.
Not at this time.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
1:52 p.m.
Hey, this is Karen Dorff from Home Care. Did you page me?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Moving.
Kellymer County Sheriff's Department.
Hey, it's Keith.
Hi.
Hey, this is Captain Kelly.
Yeah.
What's 835 doing on here?
What's what?
What's 835 doing on?
I don't know.
Oh.
I walked in and he was outside.
Oh, I'm just curious because I would think we're back to normal shifts, but maybe I missed something.
I don't know. Do you know why 835 is in now?
Yes, I do, but it's a secret.
It's a secret. We can't tell you.
Oh, my God. Don't tell me Craig got to go home early.
Keith wants to know. No, it's going to cost you to find out.
Whatever.
At 11 o'clock this morning.
He was told to go to the scene at 11 o'clock this morning. And they forgot to call and cancel, so he didn't. So that's what he's doing here.
Hey, sounds fine by me.
It's going to cost you, though, you know. Information isn't free here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You have a good day.
You
I'm
too.
headed in now.
All right. Bye.
2:12 p.m. Come on, answer.
Sales and service. You have reached Head-On Auto Sales and Service. We are either on the message after the tone.
Kellymer County Sheriff's Department.
Good afternoon. This is Peter over at NBC 26. Checking to see how you guys are doing today.
Okay.
I got a question. Are they still working the Avery site, the salvage yard? I know that yesterday they said they were going to be still actively investigating this weekend.
I believe they're all done.
They're all done? They cleared that
As
up?
far as I know.
As far as you know. Is there anyone that would know definitively?
I don't have anybody available at this point.
2:40 p.m.
Yeah, just trying to find out just for sure.
I looking at my screen, I believe everybody's gone from there.
Okay, so they've cleared the scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you much.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Well, well, well. Look who we have here. Can't believe it.
Hi.
Hi. How are
I,
you?
I'm good. I'm not sure. I've never used StreamYard, so can they hear me on in YouTube?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Well, hello everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been crazy. I feel like life's been on warp speed for a while, you know, and I've recognized that if I keep waiting for things to slow down, where I can, I'm going to be waiting for the rest of my life. So I'm just going to have to make it work.
Yep,
Mm.
that's right. Yeah,
So
we switched to StreamYard several moons ago because it. I mean, using OBS, and I'm not sure you were around when I switched to Prism, but with StreamYard, it literally streamlines the ease of being able to stream, period. But to multiple platforms, it's really simple. So
yeah.
it was a really good fit, and I mean, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but yeah, we've been on StreamYard for a while. But yeah, everybody can hear you, and so glad that you decided to jump in. And this is the last day of the dispatch calls, the last channel. We've
Okay.
covered all the others. Yeah, this is November 12, channel 7. Pretty pretty mundane. Been a couple little interesting calls come in, but for the
Is
most
this
part,
Calumet?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's 2:40 p.m., so the property has been given back to the Averys at this point in time. Um, but I talked about it. I doubt that you heard me talking because it was at the beginning. But there are calls that branch off into other offices that come in through dispatch, and those calls are recorded. I'm sure of it
Mm-hmm.
because there are a number of calls that we get to hear
Mm-hmm.
that are recorded that come in through dispatch. So I want those calls. I'm going to request them. I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's going to be a big fat denial, but hey, at least I'm going to make the effort.
Yep, exactly. Well, I heard somebody mention yesterday, I forget the lady's name that is on the Law and Crime Network, her murder trials on, and there's a lot of similarities in in this case and that case. I don't know if anyone's following the Young Thug murder trial.
Yeah, yep.
Rico trial.
I have followed some of it. I'm not like following everything, but that is a crazy case.
if if this trial had taken place when Stephen Avery's trial did, they'd have done to him what they did to Stephen Avery. But I
I'm sure of
see
it.
so many, like the I think they called it GACTL, like the Georgia Criminal Defense League. It's like the crime fighters, superheroes when they're doing the lawyers dirty. Did you see
Right.
that?
I did not.
Okay, so this judge, before this judge got removed, the male judge, before they removed him, he was like so pro prosecution
Oh, I did
that
see some of what his rulings. I did see some of that. It was horrendous. And the way he
yeah,
treated the defense lawyers. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Well, Georgia has a I don't even know what to call it, like a hit team. So if a judge and prosecutor are doing things that should not be done, they have like these people that they call in. They're all fellow criminal defense attorneys, and they all go to the courtroom as witnesses. And I was like, wow, how brilliant is that?
Yep.
Because we know once these guys are convicted, then you're looking at 25, 35, 40 years. So
Right.
their only hope is to stop it from turning into a conviction when it's a clear, clear miscarriage of justice.
Right.
And so I just like, wow, I even commented on somebody's videos, like if this had only been around, in so many other cases,
Right.
there, and I'm glad they're starting to try and be proactive.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw not to get us too far off, we'll get back to the dispatch calls, I promise everyone. But um this has been several weeks ago now, but this defense lawyer found out that the judge had a ex parte meeting with the prosecutor,
uh-huh.
and he refused to tell that judge how he found out because he said, I'm ethically bound. I can't tell you, and you can't force me to break that ethical seal.
Right.
And that judge said, I'm going to hold you in contempt, and he did.
It's crazy. I mean, I swear, and this is like Fulton County, so this is Atlanta. This isn't
Right.
like some Bodine, it's like they're not going to be able to say, well, they're just not, they don't know a lot, they don't have experience.
Yes, they
This is,
do.
yeah, they know exactly what they're doing, and it's the same. Do you see, like, it's the same scenarios? It's Nothing has changed. They use the same criminals or criminals, whether they're on good, the quote good guy side or the bad guy side. And
That's
there's
right.
only so many ways that you can commit crimes. And when you're wrongfully convicting someone knowingly, there's there's a certain process that has to be done in order for it to be done, quote, legally. And
Correct.
we have gotten to the point where we recognize it from researching these cases. And
Well, that's where your checks and balances come in, and they can't fail. If they fail, the system's wrecked. And
mhm,
this is what this to me this is what this judge tried to do. And I was just thinking, and of course I wasn't watching it live, but I saw the clip not too long after it happened. It was
mhm.
very close. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! What is this judge doing?
Yep. It is. I just don't. I mean, and these are not like public defenders. These are top-notch criminal defense attorneys.
Oh yeah,
And so the motions that they are filing are with merit, and these, even the judge that's on the case now, truthfully, I don't see how she hasn't already declared a mistrial. So she's coming in 9 months in, 9 months in, midway through a multi-defendant trial. Now, I haven't
wow.
been watching it a lot either, but how does she think that she's going to be able to grasp the facts of the case, the flow? Because to prove RICO, there's like a certain there's certain criteria that has to be met
That's right.
legally.
That's right.
And I think that's done by building upon evidence, right? It's like multiple people, multiple crimes, multiple, you know for a common goal, right?
And
And
they have to connect them in some financial and other ways. Yeah, there's a
right.
process. Yeah.
And so how is this judge going to how is she even going to know if they're meeting their burden of proof? You
Well,
can't.
and not only that, how can she undo this, what I call judicial error of what this lady
Mhm.
did in front of this jury? Well, I don't know if the jury was in the room or not at that point in time. I really don't know. They may have been excused, but I don't think they were. How is she going to unring that bell of what happened in front of them?
Yeah, it's
That's
it's
huge to me. That's just absolutely awful to treat a defense lawyer in such a way.
yep,
I
yep.
I don't know.
And I'm just I just don't understand why they're making it so. um what is the You would rather 100 guilty men go free than one innocent person be wrongfully convicted, right? Isn't that what we've
Sound
always heard?
sounds awful, but yeah.
Okay, that's what we've always heard, right? That's the whole
Yep.
point of justice. And for them to fight so hard to not throw this case out says to
Yep.
me there's more going on than we know, for it to be such a big deal for this RICO, because we're not talking about John Gotti number of murders. We're not
No.
talking about billions of dollars. um I
Sounds
think
like a
it's
grudge. Sounds like a grudge, but that's
yeah.
just me.
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like an attempt to save face. There's probably something going on we don't know about, and
Probably.
and it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me.
Hey, I want to say hello to
Christina!
Sister
Hi.
Susan.
Oh my word.
Hi.
Whoa.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I stumbled upon yesterday uh,
Reading with the crew.
reading with the crew, and then I was able to jump on today. So I've missed you guys terribly.
Missed
Oh,
you
did you
too.
say you were on yesterday?
Well,
I did.
she
Go ahead.
didn't jump in live, but she stumbled upon the live as we were doing it. We were getting close to being
I
done,
wasn't
but
home. I haven't
yeah,
had a chance to listen to it. Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Great to see you. You've
Yeah.
been sorely missed, girl.
I've missed
that's it.
y'all. I don't even recognize Discord. It's had so many updates since I've been on it.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a few days to finagle to find my way around all of that. So
Yeah,
is
we can
there
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Mm. I was just wondering what is like, is there anything I need to know case wise? Where are we at? Because I haven't caught
Well,
up. I haven't done anything.
yeah, KZ did her filings
Gosh.
last fall, and there was been a reply from the state, reply from her, blah blah blah. So it's now in the hands of the Court of Appeals.
It's a Court of
Now during
Appeals. They denied her,
yeah,
of course.
Of course.
well, no, the Court of Appeals they haven't denied anything.
No, I don't mean the Court of Appeals. I mean the Circuit Court denied her.
Well, that's a separate thing. Yeah,
That's
she
why
made
it's
some.
in the Court of Appeals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Judge. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Judge Angie denied her. Blah blah blah. So she went to the Court of Appeals. But after that happened, KZ submitted more filings to the Circuit Court, which she shouldn't have done. It got withdrawn and all that. But it's important, but it's not really important.
You know, there's a new judge, right?
No, it's not.
Such
Yeah.
that this is gone.
She quit.
She stepped
Yeah,
off.
and she stepped off the case after 12, 13, 14 years, however long she'd been making rulings in his case.
But we haven't had a chance to do anything with the new judge because it's in the Court of Appeals. So
Correct.
he doesn't have anything to do with it until it gets, if they hand it back or whatever. Or
Who is he?
God, I can't remember his name.
His name, Jack.
I can't remember.
Somebody in the chat probably knows.
He's a new judge.
Oh.
They added a judge to that circuit, and
yeah,
sucks at this, says that she's got too many other things going on, but she's a veteran of this case. So, but her ruling is awful. She set a bar
That's
so
usual.
high. Yeah, but this was really special of her. She set the bar so high that no one could ever meet her burden. There's no way. You'd have to read it to understand. We did read it and just discuss it. But she set the bar legally so high that there's just no one that could meet that burden.
And then she dipped off. She exited stage left, huh?
Exit left. Yeah, she got out. She got out. So anyway, we're waiting, and my prediction is it's going to be end of the year, early next year before we hear anything. But I don't know. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. As much time as they want.
Oh yeah. What about Brendan's case? Anything?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Oh.
Nothing.
How long's it been, Jack, since the Court of Appeals got it? When was that? In April or something?
No.
Before that.
Yeah, before that, I'm thinking January, February. I can't remember. It wasn't too long after Sakevich made her ruling, which was last fall. I can't remember. the exact month, but it was several months ago.
And
I have to go.
convicting, of course, got it all wrong, right? And Candace
Good
Owens
Lord.
did through it.
Oh my
Did you
God.
watch it?
I watched a couple of them, and then I got Hugh Fraser. What's he asking me? Did Christina get any approaches from Kelly Gang of Eight asking for a reason? What is that?
I have no idea.
Oh, he's talking about the people that left.
Oh,
That
if I
turned.
did, I didn't know about it, and I'm not going anywhere anyway.
Yeah. You
He's
know, a bunch of people here turned guilty, right?
it wouldn't surprise me to learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty big couple.
Like yours and Kelly and Kath and
Dark side,
who else?
dark side, dark side.
Dark Side of the
William,
Moon.
Dog,
William.
Case 10. Well, there were 8. Hey, everybody's free to make their own choices. Hey,
wait a second. They all believe Steven's guilty now?
Yeah.
Yeah. After
Yeah,
convicting.
they dropped a letter on October 31st into the office in our Discord. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but
No.
it is what it is, and we can debate that and not really get anywhere about it. But everybody's
Yeah. Okay. Wow. No. Now that, but see, that explains why Dark Side. I can't message her anymore.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, I. I don't know. My husband said that blows his mind.
Yeah. Kind of blew ours too.
He's listening to me.
It was out of the blue.
Yeah, well, and here, it's funny because he's a Candace Owens fan, and I like a lot of her her perspectives. I respect her, but I find that she is very much uh still clueless to how, and maybe she's stepping away from that and recognizing it, which is why she's gone independent. But if she doesn't realize how easily people can be framed and would get framed by corrupt government officials to get out of a 40 or $36 million lawsuit, then she needs to wake up and start drinking better coffee.
Well, I mean, convicting a murder, that it's been done since 2020, maybe early 2021. The filming was done. There was nothing else. And of course, I'm sure Sean was trying to get it on a network,
Mm-hmm.
and then it got sold to the Daily Wire.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they did, they created a bunch of scenes and dropped them into the documentary after the fact. And you can like Candace Owens, don't like Candace Owens, whatever, but you can tell she doesn't know anything about these cases except what they told her. And they're guilters. All of them are guilters. I'm not talking about specifically her, but she doesn't know the other side of the coin as far as anything that I could tell. The first trailer that she released talking about convicting a murderer, she said in the 85 case it was a homicide. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, so she just doesn't know the facts of the case. So
No.
she's trusting that her fact checkers or her assistants are giving her accurate information.
Well, we all saw this trailer, on Twitter or on X, and we're asking Sean what the hell's going on, and he says, well, she was tired when she had been up for a long time when she made that trailer. I'm like, and you let it air?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I thought it was done intentionally to create drama, and it did, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah. Getting back to the folks that left, they have they have right to make their own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
How that came about is a whole different story. Probably not good for public conversation, because there's so much more to that than what's really out there.
Yeah.
Um, that's more for a private discussion. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm so glad that you're here, and certainly if you're ready to jump back in, just let us know, and we'll do our thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna need a um. We'll schedule a conversation. And we'll
Absolutely.
have a phone call, a group chat, and talk and try
Yep.
and get me in the loop and get me caught up and see where we're at on filings and on records request, and all of that good stuff. How is the I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Luke Mitchell's case as well.
Well,
Has there been movement on that?
well, I mean, Susan probably knows more than I do. Alice is
I haven't
the
heard
real
anything about Luke Mitchell in a long time.
Okay.
well
Alice has had some serious life
personal
um,
tragedies.
Oh no.
tragedies.
Yeah, she had
Yeah,
to
so
step
she's been
away.
gone for quite a while.
She had pretty much a double, triple smack in her personal life. It's really set her back, but she's still around. She's doing her best to
Okay.
get through it, and she will return when she's
Okay.
able.
All right. Well, good. Yeah, and see, I was worried about Dark Side of the Moon because the last time we had chatted, she had just lost her brother, and then when I tried to message her yesterday, she wasn't on my friend anymore, and I was concerned about her. So I'm glad that she's just a guilter, but okay, because she's still my friend, even if she got bonked in the head by convicted, it's all
Right.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Um.
Oh,
We don't build these relationships with people and then let them go, even if they because they don't see what we see, or vice versa, right? I mean, we're not like, it would be different if we were living in Manitowoc related to the people of these cases. I think honestly, iron sharpens iron, and we should all, even if they think guilty now, um, we I think that can be a really good table for discussion,
as long as
so
it's
that
civil,
we. Hmm?
as long as it's civil and honest.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's the best way to. Um, that is the best avenue to finding truth, is to have tough conversations and work through them to find it. You know, so, and maybe they're secretly listening to this, and it'll inspire them to come discuss, debate with us,
Well,
because
Well, the problem
there's a
has
lot.
been it hasn't been civil. It's been a mess.
Yeah,
oh,
there's a lot of
So,
discussion
and
on
I don't
X.
understand it either, Christina. I agree with you,
and see, and
but
it could be, honestly, Susan, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say it, and it may, and I'm not trying to hurt any feelings, it could honestly be an excuse to do something different. You know what I mean? Because um this case is frustrating. It sucks you in. You get um invested, right? In a
And ran through
in
the ringer.
and ran through the ringer, and you can't control the outcome. And the people in our personal life, if they don't recognize, that there is that it's always better to try and shine a light on injustice. They can, they can not understand why we're spending so much time on people we don't know, on, for some of us, cases that are halfway around the world. And
Yep.
it could just be an excuse to move on. And I can understand that too. And, because that's why I've been gone almost 2 years. I've been taking care of my aunt. She just passed away. um
Oh,
I'm having got grandbabies that all the things. But
yep.
for me, this case, I think about this case every single day. I think about
Of
this
course.
case. Even if I'm not actively working on it, I'm running scenarios or I'm comparing it to something I'm seeing, like the YSL case, like how Stephen and Brendan would have benefited from having this, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
because it's got a hold of me. Um, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. And what was done to Stephen and Brendan was evil. And they were trying to make us think that it was good. And they're
What a
wrong
great
for
job.
doing that.
What a great job, guys. Yeah. Well, that gets into the frustrating part about what we see if you dig under the first layer or two, and you understand that it's not what they said happened at
That's
trial.
right.
And then for those of us that do records requests, the frustrating part, I don't know if you heard me say it earlier, if you'd been on, I've got a records request in with the DOJ that's 2 years old coming up here in a few days. 2 years I've been waiting. I've got 3 from last year they still haven't given me. I've got um, I've got 2. I think I've got 2 with Calumet County. One I sent 2 months ago. I
Mm-hmm.
can't get anything from these people. They just ignore me. It's just,
Yeah.
and so that becomes another frustration. I
Mm-hmm.
want the truth. I want the truth. I don't know Stephen. I don't know Brendan. Now, obviously, I certainly feel like that Brendan was railroaded for sure. He got screwed 19 different ways from Sunday. Stephen did too, but there's evidence in quotation marks. They don't have anything on Brendan except words.
Nope.
Just words. Just
Yeah.
words.
And the words that they have do not match the evidence that they have. And that's the
Well,
thing. Say it matches, but we know it doesn't, right?
No,
And I
right.
think
it doesn't.
anyone who takes the time to try and wade through that garbage, it's clear that whatever happened to Teresa Halbach, it did not occur any of the ways they had Brendan say that it happened. And if Brendan couldn't tell the truth, it, or
Th-
I mean,
They they didn't want us. They didn't want the truth. They wanted to be able to get a statement.
that's what I meant to say. If Brendan couldn't say what accurately happened to her and everything that he said happened to her, the evidence doesn't match. It's clear that whatever did happen to her, he doesn't know.
That's right.
That's
So at
right.
the day, whether Stephen is guilty or innocent, or whether you believe Stephen is guilty or innocent, the fact that the state of Wisconsin, Manitowoc County and Calumet County found it okay
And the
to
DCI.
use a kid to convict a guy because
Yeah.
they believed he was guilty. We'll say they believed, in air quotations, that Stephen did it. It still doesn't make what they did to Brendan okay. It
Well,
doesn't.
Hell no.
and to your point and Justin's statement, if anyone's innocent, it's Brendan. I still have my doubts, but I'll concede that. And I understand what you're saying. I really do. But here's the problem, Justin. Without Brendan, there is no Adam FL bullet fragment with air quotes Teresa's DNA on it. There is no hood latch swab from the RAV4. It disappears. That is not part of the case.
Mm-mm.
I mean, as we know it. Now, could that have happened anyway? I guess. But they use that to get these pieces of evidence that, came out of, I call it left field, but that came directly from Brendan to use against Stephen, yet they were not tried together. That's another part that legally is a real problem for me because, they separated Brendan out of Stephen's trial, a week prior to trial, Stephen's trial beginning. So he wasn't mentioned. It was a third party or however they phrased it.
They did
So
that.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that that's another stunt they pulled in the YSL case. They had they had multiple co-defendants that they ended up getting rid of right before trial started. The parallels between the two are very, very. It's eerily similar, and you just I'm just like, how, and I don't know. It's just
Have you
frustrating.
watched any of the Karen Reed case?
She the one, because there's the one who, she the one that ran her husband over.
That's what they said, but
Well,
there's no proof of
that's what
this.
they accused her of,
Yeah.
or set her up for.
Yeah, but there's no proof of that.
All right. Yeah.
Actually, they kind of proved that he wasn't hit by a car. The
Yeah, they did.
FBI
Go ahead.
hired reenactors, crash scene reenactors, like top of the line guys, right? They're all freaking got all the credentials you can have. And they say he was not hit by a car. There is absolutely nothing to say that he was. So yeah, that's a super interesting case, Christina. Totally
It
set
is.
up by the cops. Yeah.
And the state trooper Proctor, I'll try to get you some of his testimony about this. I mean, this guy makes like a ton of money. I won't say a top investigator, but he's one of their lead investigators for the Massachusetts State Police. And the stuff this guy did will blow your mind. Tell her, Susan.
Oh, Christ, there's so much.
And the way he
just to
talked about,
begin with, what's gotten him, he's just about fired. He's on leave without pay right now, but just waiting on the union formalities. But texting his buddies, his boss, his superiors, everybody, calling her just the most horrible names you can think of, just absolutely horrible. He had to read them all in court. In the trial.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. He spelled CUNT and the judge told him, no, you need to say that word. If that's your word, you need to say it.
Yep.
But yeah, just horrible. But what he did was he helped frame her. Basically, it's the worst part of what he did. It's not what he's getting in trouble for. But
so he got it in his head she did it. And then he
almost immediately.
Well,
almost
the
immediately.
problem is he was at another cop's house. He was on the front lawn of a Boston police officer's house.
There were
where
a bunch
he
of
went
them
for
there.
an after party.
Yep.
They say he never made it into the house. Well, and that she backed into him and left and, dying on the lawn. Well, his body was not there at not until after 3:30 a.m. or around that time. So, and they had tons of people coming and going that didn't see the body out there. And she left at, 12:30, 12,
Yep.
somewhere right around there.
Yep.
So they put her broken taillight pieces. They planted those at the crime scene. His injuries, he's got, he was punched in the face. He's got a huge gash on the back of his head, and he's got scratches on one of his arms. And they had a German Shepherd in the house. And that's it. He has no bruises from the neck down. He wasn't hit by a car.
If he was hit by a car, he would be bruised. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah,
Well,
for
he
sure.
had no bruises.
No, there's no proof that he entered the house, Justin, but there's nothing that says he didn't, except the people that were in there that
What
are all.
what was cause of death?
I think they fought.
Blunt force trauma?
I think he was punched. He fell and hit the back of his head on something, and that was a fatal blow. And they, didn't want to fess up to it.
And in this whole menagerie, there's two other. I think they're state troopers, but I'm not positive. They're definitely law enforcement. They were going to have their phones seized, and somehow they found out. So these two state troopers got rid of their phones and SIM cards the day before their phones were going to be seized. Got rid of them. Yeah. Can you imagine? If they didn't have anything to hide, why would they do that?
Yeah, right. And how is that not
Proctor, Justin is saying Proctor, it didn't affect the case. Yeah, Proctor affected the case big time.
He did affect the case.
He didn't even go to the crime scene. He was the lead detective on the case. Didn't even go to the crime scene. I mean, there's so much. I can't get into it. He obviously thinks Karen's guilty. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know you and I don't know anything about this case. Almost a dozen people of different age groups and different families with their kids' friends all decided to conspire to do this and cover it up. Did it happen at 4 o'clock in the morning? 3:30 in the morning?
It's a tight family with a lot of cops. No, it happened more around 12:30.
And at night?
We don't know exactly what time Karen Reed dropped John O'Keefe off at this after party because a bunch of them had been out drinking for hours prior to that. A bunch of them were drunk. She was drunk, but she didn't want to go to this after party, so she dropped him off at this other cop's house and left.
And they say she backed into him out there when she dropped him off and took off, and he died right there on the lawn at around 12:30.
But nobody saw it, and they would have.
Nobody saw his body until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
When she went out looking for him because he didn't show up at home with a couple of the women. So
yeah.
So I mean, theoretically, there's like a ton of things that could have happened to him. If nobody saw his body, he could have been accosted by someone after she dropped him off before the other cops saw him there. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't know anything about this case.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But the problem is nobody saw him on the lawn, and it's not a big lawn. It's not that big of a place, And he was right there, not far from the curb, right on the lawn. And a lot of people left that house, around 1:30, 2 a.m., I think. Nobody saw him there. One girl said I thought I saw some kind of black blob. And I think that's a made-up story. They were drunk. They were all talking in the car. But nobody else. I mean, it's easy you couldn't miss it. The snowplow driver came by twice or three times. He didn't see the body, okay? He would have seen him.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's elevated.
And they've got those huge lights. They're looking for stuff, Yeah, there's just no way.
Well,
they have to
be looking for stuff like that.
What about the snowplow driver, Justin? Come on. he would have seen him.
Well, yeah, they have to scan constantly of what they're playing because I mean, it could literally cause them a major accident
You know
or problem.
about when? So this is a Boston PD case.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Massachusetts
It's
State
in
Troopers.
Canton, Mass, which is like a
You know what?
suburb of Boston, I guess.
You know
Yeah,
what I think about when I think about them is the mess of the mess that
Trial 4.
Aaron Hernandez's cases.
Which one?
yeah.
Aaron Hernandez, the
Oh,
university football player who went up there and caused a bunch of chaos, and he he killed. He was convicted of one murder. I think that one got overturned, and then he got off on a couple of others. But Boston's got their share of
Problems.
problems. Yeah,
Yeah.
not hating
So
yeah,
on
don't,
Boston.
Trial 4. You watched that one, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And there's I'm sure there's a lot that we don't know about that thing. And then I think also, who else I think about is, what was her name? The lady from Wisconsin, the lady police officer, and how they framed her.
run, Bambi, run.
That's it, baby.
Emmy
Bennett.
Bennick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Sandra Birchmore case is just absolutely
yeah.
horrible. It's right
I
there in
haven't
the
wa-
same area as Karen Reed.
I haven't watched any of
Just
that.
a town. She was groomed by policemen. She wanted to be a policeman at 13. She went into a program with the cops, and they groomed her, and they molested her for years. She ended
Oh
up
no.
pregnant,
Oh
and
no.
then she ended up, what they said was, hanging herself from a doorknob. But the cop that was screwing her was there right before, once he left the place. It's on camera. Nobody ever heard from her again. They didn't find her until a couple days later, but she was on her phone constantly. She was buying, car seats and baby stuff, and yeah, and it's gotten, some of the same police officers are involved in that case as was in Karen Reed's.
Oh no.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Before we,
They've just reopened that case. They deemed it a suicide. The medical examiner, it was no suicide.
oh, I didn't know she was dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right after that
I
cop
don't.
left her house.
I
Yeah,
don't know
she was
anything about
dead
the
in
case
her
at all.
apartment. Yeah,
Oh
it's very
no.
interesting. Should look into
Oh
it.
no. I'm gonna leave
Yeah, so
Justin with one thought before we continue on
Okay.
with the calls. I want you to try to think about why I think the state troopers would destroy their phones a day before they're going to be seized. And somebody explain that to me. Two of them that were involved in this case destroyed their phone. I'm sorry. I have a real problem there. It's not right.
And one of them, he wasn't a straight trooper, but he was a statey. Destroyed it and disposed of it on a military base, even.
My God. That's even more weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can talk
Destroyed
more.
the I'd like to make one comment about the calls. I was listening to them on my way home.
Yeah.
And there was a reporter that had called in and was just chatting with the dispatcher, saying how he couldn't, kind of forget about the case, and it was just rolling in his mind all the time. And
Yeah.
the report and the dispatcher said, "Yeah, I have a feeling people are going to be thinking about this case for a long time." I'm like, "You have no idea, lady."
I
19
started to
years later.
Yeah, I started to pause it right then and say, "Yep, you nailed that one for sure." because she's right.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're where we stopped here was 240. I mean, they're kind of skipping. It's gonna, yeah, as we go down this list, they're gonna start skipping pretty significantly. I can see it now just looking at you can see the times as you roll down here. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. They're gonna roll pretty quickly, so I'm gonna guess that the bulk of these are gonna be pretty irrelevant, but let's power through and see if there's anything. And I'm sure we'll pause again. And again, if there's any questions, pause me. Here we go.
Cameron County Sheriff's Department.
Hey, I was wondering what you guys are open until?
Pardon me?
I was wondering how long you guys are open until?
We're open 24 hours. What are you looking for, though?
To pay a fine.
Okay, we do not do that.
Maybe
This
not.
is open Monday to Friday.
Oh.
County 911.
Okay. Come on, answer the phone.
Also set it up.
I have no idea what that was.
County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, this is Anjanette from Channel 5. How are you today?
Fine.
Good. Just calling to make sure that no one else has been arrested in the Avery case.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. I feel like I'm missing something. Thank you very much, though. You have a good evening.
Sure, you too. Bye. County Sheriff's Department.
What's that?
Did she say, I feel like I'm missing something?
She did. Yeah, I'm not sure what Anjanette may be missing, but
Yeah.
that was an interesting comment. I don't
Yeah.
know. All right, here we go.
You're going to answer him.
Well, choices.
You got two people working. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Hey, it's Mark calling.
No, really?
I'll fight me. I've got a long name here of a female. Her name is Maria Guadalupe Jacoba Garcia.
Give me a DL number.
All righty then. It's on 212-5477-868708.
868708.
Yes, ma'am.
And G is the first?
J as in John.
J.
I'm looking for a phone number for this young lady, okay?
Okay, now I'm going to read this back to you.
This is irrelevant. I'm gonna run a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because I'm going to run the DL number. It's really figured.
Is that what I read?
Yeah, but you think I'm going to get that spelled right?
I think by DL number, that's driver's license.
Common spelling.
Down or what?
When Rissa wanted, she left her purse at the
Okay.
laundromat in town.
Irrelevant.
You know all this what
Her DL shows.
number.
County Sheriff's Department.
Hi. I don't know if you can help me. I locked myself out of my car. Does the police come and open this?
Moving on.
What? I have both. Yeah.
Thank you for holding.
Okay.
Okay, so you're on Emerald?
Yeah.
And your name?
Moving on.
From Golden Way. Okay,
Moving
and
on.
what's your name? Echo the ear. Okay. No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay, we'll get them up there.
All right. And open it up.
County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, this is Donna calling from the ER at Cabinet Medical Center. Can you page out 860 for a 1040 transfer from the ER to St. A's, please?
Moving on. Go cross. See, told you, go cross.
1040. County Sheriff. Sheriff's Department.
Hi, this is Nick from Pedons in Hilbert.
Yeah.
Hey, I got that VIN number for that vanted vehicle that they wanted me to go pick up.
Wonderful.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. 1, F as in Frank, M as in Mary, D as in dog, U, M as in Mary.
Well, there's a lot of letters. Usually there's calling that in.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll make you. Yep.
County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, Ron Schimmick over here at Manitowoc.
Yes, Ron.
Does Officer Remaker, is it Remaker or Reimer? Remaker.
Reamer?
Reamer.
He is not in. We have voicemail.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, this is Pat Wolfel calling from down at Brothertown Mobile Home Park. What can we do about somebody that bangs their music like crazy and then it's right? Yeah, right.
Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. Apparently, my kids were home today, and the sheriff stopped by because I'm not sure if my daughter dialed 9 or 911 or what she did.
And your name?
Rasich, R-A-J-S-I-C-H. I didn't try to think back over there.
Bill, I
that is
Bye.
$4:33 p.m.
County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, ma'am. I wondered if, do you have a separate number for the jail section?
I can transfer you over there.
That would be great.
All right. County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, is this Patty?
Yeah.
Hi, Patty, Diane. How many tapes are there? Are there any? Do you want me to come in tonight, or can you look on the?
I think they're still working on them, but I can go check for you.
Okay, that's great.
All right.
If they're still working on them, then I'll just wait till tomorrow because there's 4 of us coming in tomorrow.
I think they're all still working on them.
They are, huh?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay. If that should change, give me a buzz or roll.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll all 4 be in tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, Patty.
Sure. County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, my name is Jamie Dogs, and I hit a deer.
Okay.
Right on. Deer strike. 5:05 p.m.
I don't have an office. County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, we have a guy here that just fell down in 101, apartment 101. His name is Jurgen.
Jurgen?
Yeah.
Right on.
His backers. I don't know. Yes?
Yeah, do we have a phone number I can get back to somebody?
898-5863.
Pardon me?
Move on.
898-5. Yeah. It's about me, Alan. Because you may hear him. Just fine. Okay.
Apartment, Bottom Door. 1023. Alton first responder court.
County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, it's with 860. Could I possibly get a time for the one to St. E's and the one to 2000 Taft Street?
Well, you can.
Oh, wonderful.
Move it on.
All right.
6:27 p.m.
You arrived in County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, this is Nick calling from Pedon.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering, were you dealing with the lady with the Explorer?
I guess Lori said she just called.
Okay, I just want to make sure because when the officer called me, he said not to release him until they got the plate straightened out.
Okay.
And they wanted it right now, and I told them I couldn't do it until I made sure that I could release him.
Oh, boy.
Okay,
The
that's
officer
irrelevant.
Okay.
County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, I need a sheriff out to my house as soon as possible.
What do you need?
A sheriff out to my house as soon as possible. Sorry, I ran in from the barn to find the phone number.
An ambulance?
No, a sheriff.
Oh, sheriff. Okay.
It's kind of a long story. My son's wife decided she wants to get separated, and she doesn't want to come home. And she has a 4-month-old son who's here, my son lives here.
and he's her father.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sending her brother, who has been in jail, over to pick up the boy. I will not allow it.
What's your
Calumet County Sheriff's Department?
Oh, I was looking for the new hosting. I was just wondering if we could park on the street in the hosting there.
Well, you're not supposed to, but...
Moving on.
Vehicle. Right on, they're parked on Pleasant Street.
Moving on.
Calumet County 911.
Yes, my name is Jerry Larson. I need an ambulance to pick up my mom to take her to the hospital with the patient.
All right. I will get somebody headed. Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, Calumet. This is Mitch with Gold Cross.
Yeah.
What was the name of the street?
Emerald Lane.
They live down on Fire Lane 2 here in Menasha.
Mm-hmm.
We got some clown blocking our driveway. I'm on a private lane here.
Okay. Do you have a plate?
Parked on our Waverly to come around and there.
59. Okay, what is...
We're just on the road there, so... Somebody could get in an accident.
Sheriff's Department.
Hi, it's Jerry calling.
Hi, Jerry.
Anybody else ask for an interview with Avery?
I know NBC 26 just pulled up.
I saw that. Is he still giving interviews?
I don't know.
Okay.
He was back in his cell on the phone most of the night since he got back there. I don't know what time he got. He was out when I came in.
Okay.
He was still out when Lori came in, and I'd say at about 4 o'clock maybe he was in his cell again, and now NBC just pulled up.
Okay. Yeah, I saw.
So other than that, we didn't know anything.
Okay.
7:58 p.m.
All right. Well, let me know if he does an interview with him, okay?
Should I quick ask the jail if he's going to do one?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
just
that
1
would be
second.
Great. Okay.
Dispatch the jail. Dispatch to jail. You know, is Avery going to be doing an interview? Megan, Edie has to contact the public defender's office, Eric Lloyd, closest to 10-4. Did you hear that?
No.
They said the media has to contact the public defender's office and go through him. So they said he was not going to be doing an interview.
Okay.
So why
All
they're
right.
here, I don't know.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. All right. I would think that his attorney would tell him to be quiet now.
Well, you would think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if they thought they could just show up and maybe do one, I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye.
That was interesting.
Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
It's just kind of interesting that NBC would just show up without some kind of something already in place. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
I'm
in
not
a radio
surprised. They're
meeting.
reporters. They're reporters.
Well,
They'll try anything.
that's true. They will. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we see it. We've seen it. I mean, in so many cases. But yeah, this is November 12th. I'm just trying to think in my mind because, we know that he gave several interviews, and I know Anjanette Levy was one. He gave one to some channel, and then she wanted to do an interview. Anjanette did, because I think that was on the 11th. She'd called in. But I don't think that happened until December. I think he gave a couple more interviews. I can't remember all of them. He
And
gave
she's
several
like,
of
well, if they got to, we should get to.
them. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. It's like I said, we moved on pretty quickly. This call is at 8:16, so we don't have too much further to go. Looks like roughly 30 minutes, but I'm sure it's not going to be that long. So let's move on.
Hello, Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
Hey, Patty Joyce.
Oh, hi. I was listening to the noise. I thought, what's going on?
Can you look up playthrough for me?
Can I do what?
Run a playthrough for me from Florida.
Moving on.
You know what?
The Sheriff's Department.
Hi, this is Chris Danis calling. We are at the elementary school in Gilbert, and a little bit of confusion with locking up after our banquet. And we were wondering if you knew of anybody we could get a hold of to lock the doors. They never told us who we could talk with.
Moving on.
No, it's
9:06 p.m.
Yeah,
could I get that girl?
This is
Calumet County.
Hello.
Hi, it's Martha there.
This is
Calumet County Sheriff's Department calling.
Yes.
Are you still with the Hilbert Elementary School?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I just got a call. They must have had a 4-H banquet there tonight.
Possible.
Yeah, okay. And you don't sound like you're going to know either. They said the doors were open when they got there, but they're not sure about locking them. And they're all done there. Do they have to stay around till somebody gets there to lock them, or?
Usually, there should have been a custodian assigned to do that.
Otherwise, you have to stay there. Yeah, Calumet County calling. I did talk to somebody who said there should be a janitor assigned. You do it. Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, my name's Chris. I work at the Essen Mart on the corner of N and KK.
Mm-hmm.
We had a drive-off, and my boss told me to call you guys over, and when he gave...
And I'm going to leave you...
Yeah.
Chris. Calumet County 911. Calumet County 911.
Hi, this is Teresa Hostetler calling from Calumet Medical Center. I have a lifeline that went off in the, like, him.
Okay.
Pulling them up or whatever.
9:38 p.m.
And called the 101.
On what the problem is.
Oak Cross. Fire Department.
No, first responder.
Calumet County 911.
Yeah, there's a guy that's drinking while driving.
11:17 p.m.
Don't want her.
Williams Gilbert or... We'll get some officers up there, okay? County jail, hold on it or no? The waiver has been waived. County jail. Hey, the waiver has been waived, I'm supposed to tell you. Okay. That's okay. Is there a hold on it or no? Just
okay.
Hey, can you check with probation for Brandon? Do you still have his info up there? No, actually, it's all back to you. Okay, it's Brandon J. Lula.
Moving on.
EC. Yes, what's the PBT?
11:32 p.m.
Probation and parole, please hold. Thanks for holding. This is Cheryl. What jurisdiction is this?
Calumet County.
Is that a deputy or an officer from another jurisdiction?
It's actually going to be Chilton Police Department. That's requested.
Do you have a daytime phone number for them?
11:34 p.m.
It's going to be 849-4855.
What area code is
920.
And the officer's first and last name?
Stand by 903. It's going to be Jason Kelvine.
How do you spell that?
KVALHEIM. Please hold 1 second, please.
Sure.
I think this is completely irrelevant. I'm going to move on. Let's see what this process was.
And it's
6 number.
okay. What's the offender's last name?
It's going to be Lincoln, Union, Lincoln. Yeah, really submit to it.
A lot of waiting, a lot on hold, no talking. Almost done. I'll say almost done.
Contact.
I guess what are the apartment?
Okay.
And then has been having negative.
Through my house. Came up to my house just.
Hold on.
911.
There was a trespasser. Just worried.
This isn't.
Okay.
She's just an Amber Alert going to because home and normally
They just went up my.
Okay. Well, be 683.
Thank you.
Something that Probation parole is putting a hold on that guy.
Okay.
And also the guy that's in the Huber thing. Can you tell him he's an idiot and he can next time tell me what he wants to get in for?
Moving on.
We need an ambulance up at Crazy's. There's a lady that passed out. She's on the.
Moving on. All right. There we go. Didn't think there was anything of much of any relevance left. Except some pretty crazy calls.
Travis is saying hello, Sunshine Christina.
Oh, hi, Travis. I'm glad you're still around.
He is.
Yep. Even though we disagree, I like the way you make me think about how the prosecution thinks, because I have very little experience trying to understand. I'm getting better at it, recognizing that people just have a belief and they filter everything through that, right? And you kind of get locked into it. I understand people who are convinced of guilt from the beginning and can't be swayed to innocence more than I can understand the perspective of waffling back and forth after so many years of looking at the case from both sides. I think once you have enough information where you realize that it's a wrongful conviction, even if it's just legally, or would the word be judiciously wrongfully convicted because of how they went about it, I think actual guilt, whether you believe he actually factually killed her or not, if you believe in the justice system, you have to believe that he should not be in prison because of how they went about getting the conviction. Did that even make sense?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Travis just tries to remind us of what actually in this case can be used. What
From a legal perspective.
From a legal perspective. And because we get on all kinds of theories and stuff like that, but things that have been, if they've been procedurally barred or this and that, he just tries to keep us on track with the actual legal proceedings. And
yes, speaking that, how is Cherie still here?
Yes, she
All right,
is.
good, because she's also good for that too, at keeping us helping us understand the legalese about it all. I think a big red flag, we all should always remember what Barack Obama said about this case. We should always remember what his wording was when the AP asked about this case. He didn't say he's guilty. He didn't say he's innocent. What he said was, there's nothing I can do for him. And if you're the president of this country and you believe someone is wrongfully convicted, whether it's in state or federal court, and your answer is, well, it's a state matter, there's nothing I can do, I think that says a lot about how we as citizens are woefully ignorant of our rights and how our justice system operates, right? Because prior to this case, I believe the president could get anybody out of prison.
I think a lot of people did.
Well, if you're going federal, it has to be with the U.S. Supreme Court beyond your,
Right. Well,
state
I
case.
mean,
And, how many cases do they look at?
yeah. And do you
Tiny
remember
little
the
percentage.
Do you remember the lady basketball player who went to prison in Russia for a weed pen?
Yeah.
And they got her out. They traded some arms dealers for her. Oh, I'm sorry. My husband said that the person that we gave for her was actually someone who had killed multiple people. So we're willing to step in over a weed charge, but we can't influence a state court to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, even if it ain't for Stephen, let's say everything they want us to believe Stephen is factually true and all of that. It doesn't change what they've done to Brendan Dassey. And as a child, if you're willing to use a child to put a man in prison, that's not justice. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the truth. It's a manipulated,
Yeah.
manufactured story.
And if you're lying about that, then what else are you lying about? Because
Well,
the truth is simple. It's the lying. When you start lying is when things start getting whack-a-mole complicated,
and we've not even talked about, and we will in a minute. We got a couple questions, but we've not even talked about the actions at the Madison, Wisconsin crime lab. And I'm going to
Oh,
tell you, I'm sure you've thought about it, probably in all this time, but once you got that unfiled search warrant that Uyghur wrote about Cuss Road, it really opened up this huge can of worms. I mean, I already had real suspicions of Harrington. I had real suspicions of Culhane. But then when this warrant came out and we see blunt and bloody instrument as it's found in the back of the RAV and it disappears into thin air, there's a real problem within there. There's just no other way for me to look at it.
yeah.
That wasn't tapped by mistake.
No.
Culhane
Yeah.
didn't do the thing she did in a vacuum. She's a veteran at doing these kinds of tests, and she completely hosed up, just completely. There's just no way around it. I don't know what Harrington did because he did. We only have what little bit of reporting he did to Fassbender, and it's woefully incomplete. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
their lack of adhering to their own standards in this case, a case where you would think, and these are all comments we've all made over and over, but when you are prosecuting a man that you've already wrongfully convicted once and you're being so sloppy about all of it instead of making sure to get it right, but yet you're trying to pretend like you're getting it, you're doing it right to perfectly, tying it up with a red ribbon and putting the little bow on it. But in reality, you're even sloppier this time around than you were the first time around. That says to me there is a whole lot that we don't know, and it's intentional, and that's not how it should be done. There
Yeah,
is
it's so
something,
common too. I mean, it's
yeah,
not just this case. It happens in so many cases. It's just disheartening.
yep,
And I'd
yep,
like to correct myself on the federal. Your federal avenue is the habeas petition, which we all
Yes.
know EDPA just gutted. They gutted that with rights with EDPA.
EDPA. Yeah, they
But
did.
Brendan got through that and got through 2 different courts until
until
the
until the
en banc.
one judge, until there was a judge that, and see, and that's a whole nother, that opens the door to what did they have on these judges to get them to see the things they needed them to see their way, right? Because it was Team Brendan until it wasn't. And I think that somebody had a very probably ex parte conversation with these judges saying if we lose Brendan, then we no longer have the ability to keep Stephen Avery behind bars. And Stephen Avery, and see, we haven't even mentioned the elephant in the room, and that's Gregory Allen, because we got to remember back then, nobody knew what we knew about Gregory Allen now. And, and keeping
Yep.
the envelope closed on the victims of Gregory Allen, and the fact that while Stephen is being, while Teresa comes up missing and Stephen's being arrested, they are secretly indicting Gregory Allen, the guy who actually committed the crime Stephen Avery was wrongfully convicted of in '85. They're indicting him, or trying to get away with getting him processed in Minnesota for yet another sexual assault that he committed when he should have been in prison for Penny Bernstein's crime, but Stephen Avery was there. And
Yep.
that case
And we don't even
never,
know how many other ones there were, right, Christina?
no, and that's probably what I spend most of my time thinking about. Here, for example, here's one of the things. So I have a clothesline, and when I hang my clothes, I hang my intimates in the middle 2 lines, and I hang my rugs on one side and like my clothes on the other. Do you know why? Well, there's 2 reasons why I do that. One, because my mama said don't let everybody see your intimates. But the other thing is, I think about Gregory Allen stealing bras and underwear and bathing suits off the clothesline of the women that he was stalking in Manitowoc County, in the city of Manitowoc. I mean, he was a serial predator, and they legit tried to make Stephen Avery who Gregory Allen in reality was. And why there, I can understand framing him for Penny's assault because of what he did to Sandra Morris. I get that. But why would you also want to, um, I'll never understand why you wouldn't want Gregory Allen off the streets, because he was terrorizing the women of Manitowoc. I mean, he really was.
That wasn't just Manitowoc. It was the area.
Yeah, the whole
Well, it was
entire
many
area.
states. It was a lot
Yeah.
of states, right? He moved around a
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
lot
Oh
with
yeah.
work.
Yes.
Many states. God knows
Yes.
how many women he attacked.
Yeah. We'll never
Yes.
know.
And what's interesting is the when I started looking into the Saki kit testing, the cities we know that he was at, those are the cities where those kits were never submitted, or and these are other states as well. They
Yeah.
either they chose not to get funding. Those kits for the time period where he was around aren't available for testing. They didn't submit any. And it just makes you wonder, like, what's going on? There is a whole lot of
Nobody cared.
bizarreness around Gregory Allen.
They didn't want to test him.
It is bizarre how he was
Yeah.
being protected.
Yes. And
yeah,
by multiple agencies in multiple states for multiple offenses. Not only the young lady that he murdered in, where was
North
that?
Carolina.
North Carolina. Not only for her murder, but and it's like what there's, I don't know. It's like a real big can of worms.
I think Sunshine, Christina and I both agreed long ago that there's probably bodies around the country that could be tied to him that we will never know about. Unsolved.
Oh yeah. He was very, very, very violent.
Yes, he
And
was.
he, just from what we know from other serial predators, that you don't escalate to the point of murder and then not continue that.
That's right. You don't de-escalate.
No, and he continued the assaulting of women, and so I'm sure he also continued the um the the unaliving of them as well when he felt he could get away with it.
I think if he was
And
released right now, Christina, if he was still physically able, he would still be a danger.
oh
That's my
yeah,
feeling.
yeah. What was that guy's name? The rich guy who killed his wife and then killed the guy and then dressed up like a woman who finally got caught.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
His trial was crazy.
Yep, he. Oh,
What's
hold
his
on.
name?
All right, well, y'all thinking? Got a couple of questions. I'm
Neverly.
gonna pop on
Not
the
the
screen.
staircase. What was the documentary?
The
Shit.
staircase?
No. But it was a big Netflix documentary. Or
Yes.
not
What was that guy's
whatever.
name?
HBO. Durst, Robert Durst.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Thanks,
God.
Dr. Silkman.
Oh God! Don't get Neverly started on that shit.
Yep. Yep. But it's like that. There's just so much we just don't know, and
Killed
I
them
don't
all,
know.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
what
got a
was your?
couple of I got a couple of questions, and we can continue talking. These are from earlier. One from Justin. Are you going through all the calls, or do you have a program to recognize keywords from the audio and narrow it down? No, we went through every call, and I just would fast forward through the irrelevant stuff. So there's been literally thousands of. There's two lines, channel 6 and channel 7, in the CASO
Been doing
Dispatch
this
calls.
for quite some time, huh, Jack? How long have
Yeah,
we
they're
been
yeah
on the
they're
calls?
yeah they're this probably goes back a few months because we started on November 3rd, went all the way through November 12th, so it's 2 channels per day, and some of these were quite lengthy. One of them was, I think, almost 4 hours. Others were over 3, and then there were many that were over 2. So, and
Wow.
what's
Travis
that?
says two good friends of Travis tried the first Durst case, and one tried the second.
Oh wow,
Those guys were great.
that's
The
that's
first
hitting.
case ending, he got acquitted on the case in Texas.
Can we say it's a small world?
The neighbor. Yeah, it is a small world.
Yeah.
I can't
Anyway,
remember
Justin,
black or something.
we went through all the calls. We went through all the Manitowoc County dispatch calls. Now, Manitowoc County's was separate. They narrowed their call. There are a few that were not case related, but very few. All of them that we were able to get were narrowed to these cases, period. Well, actually, it was just Avery. It wasn't really Dassey. And for Manitowoc County for November 4th, 2005, there are no calls. For some reason,
Zero. Oh, no, there's a couple, aren't there?
Well, they're not really dispatch calls. They're just communication between Lincoln and Wiegert.
No,
They weren't really
no dispatch.
No, those were
Yeah.
just private communication. Well, I say private. It was a phone call. It was 3 or 4 phone calls between them because Wiegert wanted the GPS coordinates because they were going to go up in the airplane. So he wanted GPS coordinates for the salvage yard and for the Zipper residence. Yeah, we end up with the flower footage has no footage of the Zipper residence at all. So don't tell me. So they went to the Zipper residence and didn't record anything. How's that work? If they didn't, then that means that they were directly edited.
Edited. It's only a couple minutes long, like 3 or 4 minutes.
Something like that. It's ridiculous.
They're up there for hours.
Yeah.
Well, Justin said it's still interesting just to listen to normal dispatch calls. My cousin did dispatch for a while, but if we did that, we'd be here forever. We're only interested.
I thought about doing going through them and editing out everything, but it would have taken me. Well, it would as a huge project, and
oh yeah,
somebody would have come along and said, well, you just ignored blah blah blah. So I just said, you know what, screw it, we'll go through it. The ones that are of interest, we'll listen to. Those that have no bearing, I'm just going to fast forward. That way, we went through everything.
Yeah.
As painful as it was at times. Got one more question.
Yeah.
And this is from Tony. I'm confused whose bones they actually were. I'm thinking that this question from Tony is in reference to me talking about the SIPL.
Yeah.
The SIPL. Yeah, the November 9th SIPL call. We don't know because there's no entry in the ledgers for those bones. Nothing. I've looked all through the ledgers. They're not there. There's no photographs. There's no document, no real
5-gallon buckets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what he had found. They found so far. And then he requested 60 more officers for the next day to go scour that quarry to look for more. So I have no idea. No one does. I've been in a big racket with this guy on Facebook for ages over it. He wants to call him potential human. I'm like, that's not what he said. And why would he request 60 more additional officers if they didn't know? Why didn't he call someone that could identify if they weren't sure? He had at least one DCI agent with him. That's for sure. There could have been
body
more.
weren't there body parts as well?
Well, that's in another call.
Yeah.
But it's
why did
referring to the same finding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bones and body parts.
Why did the medical examiner only go to the quarry and never go to Stephen Avery's house? Why did he sign the death certificate after that call?
And he wasn't even
before any DNA.
Christina, you know that the coroner was taken to Mickles Materials, right? He didn't go to the Redon quarry. He was taken to Mickles Materials.
Which is behind Redon's?
No, it's south and east of, almost due south of the Averys, a little bit east.
It's north, east.
No, southeast.
It's north of where the rat was.
Mickles Materials is southeast of the Avery salvage yard.
Southeast. Where's it at from Redon's?
I'm going to disagree with you.
Well, it would be across the yard. It would be completely across the yard.
So is this the one that Manitowoc County owns?
Yeah, Silkman says northeast.
Oh, did he?
It is northeast, Jack. Yeah,
okay.
And Andy B does too.
I'll correct myself. Northeast. Even then, it's still completely across the Avery salvage yard.
Like when you're coming down Avery Road toward the yard, it would be on your left.
Right. That's exactly.
So is this the cornfield?
We're talking about a quarry.
It's a quarry.
I know. I know we're talking about the quarry. So, so from Steven's trailer, from his backyard, where would this quarry be?
I don't think you can see it from his backyard. You'd have to turn around.
Yeah,
would
from
it
his
be-
front, the front of his trailer looking east
Yeah.
would be that way and a little bit to the north, I think. Not
There you
very
go.
broad. But
There you
when the property ends at Avery Road, it's just on the other side of that.
Yeah, which makes sense if she was accosted right after she left Avery's from taking the photo.
But it's
Right?
interesting how many visits they made to Mickles Materials. But
That's where they found the tissue.
Yep, that's right. That's
he-
where the 3 cadaver dogs went nuts. And then they brought in Ertl and his gang, and they dug down 6 or 8 feet and removed everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
crazy how much activity was there. But it's even more
Well, because
interesting that
that's
they would.
probably where
Why would
it
they?
went down.
Why? Yeah, right. Why would they take that corner there? Oh, Jay must have had to go. Pretty late for him.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Jay, he's from the UK.
JD.
Oh, okay. I remember. I think he's been around for a while.
Long time.
Right? Yeah.
Long time. Yeah. I did want to say thanks again to Sheila.
Mm.
Appreciate you very much, and everyone else that's a member. We do.
Mm.
Everything we do
Sheila?
with. Yep, Sheila Hawkins. Yep, became a member today.
Thank you.
Yep, everything we do with the, any ad money or funds that we get, it all goes towards open records requests or that we got a
He's actually-
newspaper.com. Yeah,
JD
everything.
is actually Welsh.
Oh, there you go.
NDB says, yeah.
Welsh Wales.
He's Welsh. Good to know.
Yeah.
How's Neverly? How's Rhonda?
Good. Been busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhonda's been busy with. She's had some real life things that she's had to deal with.
She's still
Usually-
covering Daniel's case on
Yep.
Thursdays.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good. She's still working on Daniel's case then, yes?
Oh,
Good.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, good. It's I don't know what the weather's like for y'all, but right now I think we have a hurricane coming.
Oh no.
Just
It's
a
been
little
crazy.
one, right?
Yeah, just a
been
little one.
It's been crazy here. It's just been most rain I've ever seen.
Like we went through a month of a drought. I was wondering, like, what I had done to make God give my garden any water. And now, like, for the last 3 weeks, we have had a ton of rain as well.
It's the rainiest. It's the rainiest summer we've had since we've moved to Michigan.
Wow. Now, how does that affect y'all? Because of the Great Lake, are you near the Great Lakes where you're at?
I'm about an hour east of Lake Michigan,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
I've missed y'all. Isn't it
Oh
funny
God,
though?
I miss you too.
Yeah, it's we haven't done this, like I haven't participated in over a year, but some things are like riding a bike.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah. And this case just sticks with you. It really,
Yep.
really does.
Sherry Lynn is going to be thrilled you're back. She's
Oh,
missed
she
you a
didn't
lot.
leave?
No.
Oh no, she's still
No,
here.
she's still on Discord.
Good.
She
All right,
pops in.
good.
She pops in the live chat when she can.
Good.
So, yep.
Well, good. Because she's got some interesting threads of thinking
She sure
I,
does.
and I feel like if we could ever just, like if we could ever connect these chains, because we have these chains of evidence that leads for, and if we could ever just get them to find the
Like
one link that puts them
click,
together.
to click. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that honestly, and we've said this before, I feel like the best way to get them, some days, the best way to get them out, excuse me, is going to be like a civil rights type, just the entirety of the ugliness that is Manitowoc and was in that time frame, right? From like the 70s, the 80s, all of the cases.
Well, she's
Just
dove deep into a lot of the peripheral families
hmm
and so forth that have connections, but to get those to
My
gel with
goodness.
what we, yeah, she's done a lot of work. In fact, I'm waiting on her to get me some names to do some open records. Oh, well, actually, these will be, uh, well, maybe some open records requests to Manitowoc and maybe other counties, but maybe some uh, court filings as well. But I'm waiting on her to get me some names. Want to say hello to Barb. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you've been listening in and listening to the reading with the crew that we're doing about Brendan's case. It's tough going. It's really hard, but it's so necessary to really basically deconstruct those interviews, if you can call them that. I don't really call them that. I call them coercion sessions because that's exactly what they
Yeah.
did. You can see it
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
He would say something, and they would like, duh, 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 and he would completely change his
Redirect them.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would
Just
completely just
redirect them.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for a child like Brendan, there's just just trying to put myself into his head at that age, knowing that Brendan was, a bit slow. I'll say, and in some ways he was really slow. His memory
Well,
tested
I think
terribly bad.
his understanding of words
Yes.
and phrases and um,
He didn't know what was going on. He didn't understand his rights that he could just tell these guys to go take a flying flip
hell
and
no.
walk out. He didn't know that. There's no way. I'll never
No.
believe that.
oh, so I've been around my nieces and nephews, because um, they're like, I'm living out in the country and I'm living across the street from my sister now, and they are not even diagnosed with low IQ. Okay, but they are so clueless about vocabulary. Um, just I, it's people. Those of us who have a good grasp of language and words and things like that, we don't realize how many people don't. And when you put someone in a stressful situation, and that's what Brendan and that whole family went through, okay, they had no idea about, even though Stephen had been wrongfully convicted, they didn't know enough about how the judicial system worked. They had no clue about police procedure and,
Tactics.
tactics and word definitions and how if they get you to say this on tape, they can then use it to make it look like you're saying that instead of what you're saying, and then they're going to make you think that you're really saying what something you're not saying. And I see how easily it could be done to my nieces and nephews,
Well, a
Barb
lot of
says
people.
Brendan was scared. Of course he
I'm
was
sure he was.
scared.
I'm sure he's
Yeah.
Oh my
petrified.
God. And that had a lot to do with him going along with them
Of
and
course it did.
changing things and making shit up. And yeah, poor kid. Oh my God.
I mean,
Yep.
two cops show up at your high school, armed officers. Hey,
In front of
we got
all
some
your friends,
right.
right?
We got
The
some
whole school knows what's going on.
we got some questions to ask you. You need to come with us to headquarters. I mean, what's he gonna say? He didn't know. He could say, you know what? Unless you're gonna arrest me, I'm not going.
I want
Period.
a lawyer.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that too. That too. He didn't
Uh-huh.
know. I'm
No, of
convinced
course
of that.
not. How many kids in that entire school would know, you know, at that
Exactly.
age?
Exactly.
I've raised my children, if they're ever questioned by officers, to be very polite, but to ask for an attorney. All right. My son got himself in some trouble, and I thought I had pretty much had him trained to never talk to the police, especially if he had done anything wrong. Definitely don't talk to him, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
even if you're innocent, don't talk to them. And I kid you not, when I got the police report, they brought him into the interview room at 1:05, and at 1:09, he was signing the confession.
Oh my
Of
gosh.
something he didn't do.
Oh no, something he completely did. They were idiots. They were on ring doorbell cameras. They had his dad's tag. I mean, but
Oh, okay.
the point
Right.
being is, you think you have taught your children,
Right.
not to say anything, whether you're innocent or guilty. Don't say a word, right? Because you that's any in any situation, if someone can lie to you and not get in trouble, but if you lie to them, you can go to jail. It's an unfair advantage, right? And that's how I tried to explain it to them, that the cops are allowed to lie and you're not. So they'll make you think you did something even if you didn't do it, and you can say something that you can't take back, and now it's evidence. So your best bet is to not say anything except,
Right. Lawyer.
I don't, yeah, that's right, I don't have a problem talking to you, officer. I just need to have my attorney present to do so.
Yep.
That's it.
That's right.
And and it, and they kids get scared. I mean, they're intimidating, especially nowadays. I mean, they're driving around in military grade vehicles in some places, and that's all intentional because they have to keep you, the ones who aren't getting in trouble, they want to keep you from thinking it's okay to commit crime.
Well,
um
and they deal with a really a lot of these cops. They deal with a very dangerous and violent crowd. There's no doubt.
yep.
But they they get jaded, so they treat everyone with that mindset, and that's where the problem steps in, because now you've created a bias for the cop. And I get it. I'm not against cops. I'm all for great. There's a lot of great, honest police officers out there every day working their ass off, just doing a job. In that same vein, a police officer is the only set of, uh, uh, and only one in our country with a profession with a license to pull a gun and shoot your ass. Period. And I just don't think that grasp is taking. It doesn't have the seriousness surrounding it that it should. It doesn't. We just accept it, because it's kind of like boiling a frog. You raise the temperature a degree every day, and until you're boiled. So now we just kind of accept it, and it's hard. The shock value, you think about, when Making a Murderer came out, it was shocking. But God, where we're at now is a million miles away, 10 million from where we were, 8, 9 years ago.
Oh yeah. And we're kind of numb to it, and
That's right.
we're like the frog in the boiling pot.
That's right. That's
and
exactly right.
and it doesn't, doesn't sting as much as it used to. Oh, speaking of, what about the guy from Idaho?
Oh,
Uh,
uh, um, God, now can't think of his name. Starts with a K.
yeah. Well, or no, he used to come on our chats. He didn't leave, did he?
Oh, you're talking a super cop or sapper cop.
Yeah, Sapper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been out, but his life situation changed. I think he took on more job responsibility, and
Okay.
he's just not been able to be around. But I think he's still around. He's just not around.
Okay, but he's okay.
As far as I know, he's okay. I haven't heard anything different.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Yep. I used
Yeah,
to
we should
like
have.
arguing with him too.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a great guy. But there's a lot of things we should discuss in private. To catch you
Okay.
up
Okay.
and kind of get you back if you're ready to come back in and start doing what you want to do as much or little as you want to be involved. I think that's great. Um, so glad that um, this is where we're at because
Yeah. It sucks that they're not it sucks that they're not free, but I'm glad that we're still all here to chit chat.
absolutely, like I said before, and as anybody knows that has kind of messed around all these cases, you get so many in your head and you can lose yourself and there's some confusion like I just did a few minutes ago with Nichols Materials. I'm thinking it's southeast. I had it in my mind it's southeast, but it's northeast. Okay. See how easy it is. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I've not really dabbled nearly as much into some of these other cases. Yeah, a little interest here and there. The Johnny Depp case, that was, oh my God, that was craziness, absolute craziness, and especially what
It's been
the
2
media,
years, Jack.
what the media tried, yeah, and what the media tried to pull. I mean, that was
Well,
unreal. Hey, Cherie.
hi,
Hello.
Terry.
I thought you were already done. It must have been because I didn't have any signal where I was. So I'm glad to see you're still here. Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
there wasn't too much in the calls. There was a couple of interesting ones for this one, but I didn't think there was too much more left. It was mainly basically a fast forward through hour and 40 minutes of calls. It wasn't a lot though. Um, yeah, Barb, we're not going to stop.
No, not
It's
stopping, Barb.
no, we're not going anywhere. But I think that I'm looking at some different aspects of the case. But again, we've talked about so much of this for so long. You don't want to drive people away with repeating yourself too many times. That's what I've talked about. Maybe talking about some of the more current cases while we're kind of waiting on the Court of Appeals to do their thing. I'm not going to stop with records requesting, and when if I can get anything from these people, certainly that would be I'd put that publicly. So, um, Under Your Scar says, "Where's Narrator?" Yeah, she's still in the case. I don't know of anything going on that Narrator and Risen are doing. I don't know what they can do, because there was no forensic evidence used against Brendan because there wasn't any. Even to this day, they have nothing. That's why they did what they did, and they knew it. That's exactly why they did it. Of course, that's my opinion. That's my opinion only. Um, and Brendan or Jasna said earlier, Brendan was told he couldn't be provided a lawyer on the 27th. That
He
again, I
was.
talked. Yeah,
I mean,
that.
when they read him his rights, they added that in there, which isn't part of your rights. We can't get you one, but you can be appointed one, something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if he wanted a lawyer, yeah, they shouldn't have added that caveat in that. I agree. You have a right to speak to an attorney. before and during any questioning. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But again, for a child like Brendan, he does not understand the implication, the vast implication to his life. His life changing. There's just no way. You can tell from him his answering and what the Silkman and everybody put together and taking this apart. I mean, he was so obvious what we went through last week and this week. It's crazy. And I'm sure it's just going to get worse. So, I wish there was something that Outrider and Drizzy could come up with in the legal capacity to argue.
Are any of these recent Supreme Court rulings that have happened, or do any of them give Brendan a avenue?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard any
Okay.
talk of that. I haven't heard any talk of that at all. No.
Yeah. I know there was like one on I want to say it's the Chevron ruling. I'll have to look into that a little more.
I did hear about that one, but I don't really know what that case involves. I think it's been a long-standing Supreme Court ruling they reversed.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
And people are.
Chevron has to do with like judges used to say that the agencies, federal agencies, are the ones that have the expertise in an area like energy or whatever. So they would defer to them unless it was their judgment was completely unreasonable or whatever. But now they don't have to do that as much. So it's not a good thing in my book. It depends on the case, I guess. If it's something that I want the agency's decision to win, then
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know if I'm making it clear, but
Taking away oversight. Is that what you're saying?
pretty much, yeah. Just like saying, well, they're the experts, so they know what should be. So we'll just let them rule, they're what they want.
The decisions.
Yeah, but now the judges can, if they don't like it, then they can, they don't have to defer.
Uh-huh.
So that's my opinion on that.
Okay, so that's not helpful.
Yeah, but Barb says he didn't understand anything talking about Brendan. I to this day don't understand it. Yeah, we understand that, Barb. I think for a lot of us, especially when we really got involved in this legal quandary, we didn't understand it either. But over time, it's kind of like if you ask me to sit down and do some calculus right now, I'm not going to get it, even though I had a little bit of it and was kind of around it. But yeah, I can't go there. But and now understanding that, again, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier on. When you have the police, which are the executive branch, they are charged with enforcing the law. That's the police's bailiwick. But they have, well, it's been going on for a long time now. They step over the line and move into the judicial branch and be the judge. That's where you have a corrupt cop or whatever that plants evidence or removes evidence or destroys evidence that could help a defendant because they think the guy's guilty. He's done something, he's guilty of something. So they step over and they become a judge and jury, stepping over that judicial. So the blurring that there's three branches of government: legislative, executive, and judicial. And the executive branch was intentionally made the weaker of the three, but they're still important, in enforcing the law. It's like collecting evidence. Their job is not to judge. Maybe you can speculate, hey, we've got this, we think this guy's our prime suspect. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. But when they do things that intentionally manipulate that outcome, that's where it crosses and blurs into the line of where it should have been turned over to the prosecutor and it goes to court into the judicial system. That's the way it's supposed to work. And in so many of these areas, we see it does not work like that. And this is a prime example. This is one of the worst examples, actually. One of the worst. It's terrible how far the manipulation went. You know, it's just crazy. It's mind blowing.
And if
So
it's okay, see, and here's the thing. If you say, oh, well, he was guilty, so it's okay, and you let them do it once, when do they stop thinking it's okay? You know, if they think it's guilty, when do they, if you allow them to break the law once and get away
right,
with it,
right.
and don't hold them accountable and say, oh, well, this guy was a bad guy, so we understand why you did the things that you did, then they are empowered to think that they are above the law and that they have the right to do what's necessary to make the quote guilty party unquote pay.
And
And
get them and help get them convicted.
yes, right. And we all know that things are not as always as cut and dried as they want us to think that they are. And
That,
so,
that's right.
and you know, it's not, we can't just allow them to do what they think is okay
Yeah,
to get their man.
that's right. That comes back to the Supreme Court says, well, police are allowed to basically mislead uh, someone during an interrogation, right? We know that. That's a inside the box. Cops get you in there, they can lie to you. But that has become something that has moved far outside the interrogation room, and it happens in everyday life. But just without naming any specific case of a cop lying to someone, not necessarily, they're just trying to fish out information, so they lie to them to try to get something. This is a real problem for me because now we've moved a Supreme Court ruling that says, yeah, you can mislead. You got somebody that's a person of interest that you really want to, crank on them. You're allowed to lie to them. You're allowed to deceive them. That's moved
We
outside.
already know, Brendan. You just need to tell us. We already know.
Yeah, exactly. We know what happened. You would see it in your words. Play that tape in your head, Brendan. And during that short period of time, he said that like 4 or 5 times. Fassbender did. Play that tape in
I'm
your
sure.
head.
Yeah. So
Memory
who
doesn't.
shot her in the head?
Right. Memory doesn't work like that. It's not a
No,
videotape.
no, no. And it makes you wonder what tape they were actually talking about, right?
Well, I mean, to me, it goes back to Kiss the Girls. I'm sorry, it just does. I always think of that. I always think of that. But
Goes
anyway,
back to Brendan's imagination, yeah. And that which I'm sure referenced that quite a few times in his story.
Yep. All right, gang, this has been fantastic. I'm so glad that you're back, Sunshine Christina. We'll talk very soon. We'll set up a time and see how many we can get on to have a chat and get you caught
Okay.
up. And
All right.
if you did, nothing really much has changed with Discord. There's been some updates and some fancy dancy additions here and there, but otherwise it's still basically the same Discord. And yeah, I'll get you caught up on what I've got put in the process as far as open records and that kind of thing. That's pretty simple to do. Yeah, and see where you might want to see what you might want to do. That sound good?
That sounds amazing.
Excellent.
Welcome
All right.
back.
Woohoo.
Yep, it's good to be back. I've missed y'all. I've missed everybody.
And there's I put this section of the unfiled custody search warrant up that you got. It's amazing, just amazing. in my heart of hearts tells me this was never supposed to be released. Why they kept it, I have no clue. We debacled this a number of times trying to understand why they would even keep a draft warrant, an unfiled warrant around. Why would they do it? I just don't understand. But
I
then to
don't
send it
even,
out with,
yeah, I don't
with this
even
information,
think they realized they had it.
I don't
And
either.
yep, I think it was a fluke. Um, and
A,
I,
a
I
damn
don't
good
know.
one.
It's just one more. Yep, it's a good fluke. It's just one more thing that just makes you go hum in this case.
Well, it makes me think, and I know it does probably everyone, what else do we not know? And how can
Hmm.
you ask for something that you've never been told about? You can't just, give them a call or send an email and say, I want all the evidence you have in the case, because they're going to say denied because that's too broad. Narrow your scope. What do you want?
That's exactly what they're gonna say. I tried it.
They won't give it to you. They just won't. Even if you could even say, I want all the photographs you have in this case. Well, okay. No, denied. Narrow
Yeah.
your scope. What are you looking for? Well, I want everything. Well, what does everything mean? That could be blah, blah, blah. They won't do it. They just won't. Guaranteed. So it comes back to what else is hidden. And I'm
That's
100%
right.
convinced. I'm 100% convinced there's more evidence we don't know about. I'm convinced of that. Yeah.
So there's a couple of things that I've tried to get over the years. Um, I've tried to get to Eisenberg, like direct, if I could get a records request to her,
Yep.
like where she answers it. I know that would be fruitful, which is why they make it so daggum difficult.
Yeah,
I
she'd be
think
on a
if
hit
we,
list. She'd be on a
oh
hit
yeah,
list.
and if we could get a records request inside the DOJ DC
Uh-oh.
You cut out,
You cut out,
Christina.
Sunshine. You
the
cut out.
evidence in this case.
You cut out, Christina. You dropped out.
I said if we could get a records request to a DOJ DCI agent, like a lab analyst in this case,
Right.
instead of having to go through the DOJ, if we
That's
could
right.
get it to the crime lab into someone's hands, because we know how fruitful that's been in other cases.
They won't allow it.
By, yeah,
They
well,
run they run interference because all these people that work for the DOJ that and records request are lawyers.
yeah, and that's why we have to. And you cannot. I've tried to find an email for a DCI agent. Uh, that was in the crime lab, and it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, and it
Yep.
should not be that difficult unless you know that it's not going to be good for you if someone was to get a records request to them. So,
Well, it comes down to why won't they allow? I mean, I could just point out right now the DCI reports. Now we've got hundreds thanks to Rookie and Yoris, but and KZ has provided a few that in that time frame in her briefs. But at the same time, there are still dozens and dozens of DCI reports that we can't get. And I think the last one that we have numbered is like DCI report 357. I know there's been reports added to since that time frame. Haven't been able to get those. I'm going to re-request them, all of them. I want them all legible. And I want any attachments that were included in the DCI report. I don't want just the report. I want the attachments that went with it because a lot of times the attachment is everything. It tells you what it was, what they're talking about.
yeah, yeah,
So
that and anything. I found that it's someone else that I ran into a wall with was the he worked on the case with Eisenberg. Um, what I can't think of his name right now, but he was with the University of Wisconsin, um, like the pathology lab when
Oh,
Eisen.
yeah. Dr. Silkman probably remembers the name. He did the autopsy.
Uh-huh. Not and so I got a records request to him. It was one of my last ones, actually, and I got it to his staff, but they referred me. They denied me based on. I'll have to find it. It was really weird because I'd never seen that used. Basically, saying that because they were um a government institution, a nonprofit, because they're at the university, that
What?
they don't have to. Yeah. I was like, oh, really? That's
If
interesting.
that's written in the open records request guidelines, it tells you basically it goes through the list of what there are exceptions to. And I'm going to tie that in with what Barb said. If all open records, if it's all open records, why won't they give them all up?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. The way the records request, uh, the spirit of it is all records, public records like this, you can request. However, within that, there are exceptions. And I understand the exceptions. Some things, like an autopsy report, I don't necessarily think, or I mean, you get the report, but don't include the photos, glossy photos. I don't think that's something that should be allowed to be distributed. I know certainly,
Agree.
and just thinking personally, I wouldn't want that kind of shit out there. So, and then there are other things that I understand, like prosecution work product files. You can't; those are excluded. You can't have those. And there are other exceptions as well. Like if you want an officer's personnel record, there are ways to get it and go about that, but there still are things that are excluded for personal safety. I get that too. So there, uh, records are open for request, but there are exemptions tied to some of these. When you request something, I found, and I think a lot of people have, I'm sure Christina has too, you need to be pretty specific and include something with your request that points directly that says, you have this record and I
Mm-hmm.
want it. And I want it. You don't have
Yeah.
to
There
tell them
is
why.
there isn't
Go.
one reason that we shouldn't have every single photograph in
I
this
agree.
case.
I agree. I agree. And the photos they took at Cuss Road, I'm not talking about what Reese and Judge took. I'm talking about what Tyson and Colburn and whoever else was there at the
Yep.
scene. I'm talking about what they took. Can't get them. The
I
200
would.
plus photos, the 200 plus photos that Officer Block from the Manitowoc County City Police took on the 6th. Can't get them. I've tried every avenue. Can't get them.
Why can't we get them? What are they saying about
Well,
those?
Uyghur, when I requested when Uyghur was still there, he says he loaded the CD, but the CD is degraded and the photos won't load.
Have you tried going back through the city police?
I did. They say they don't have a copy of them. I
That
sent a
doesn't
request.
sound
I know.
logical.
I sent a request. So I tried those two avenues. So I thought, okay, let me send this on to the prosecutor that's at Calumet now, because he would have a copy in his file. He should.
Mm-hmm.
Denied. Denied. Just
Work product.
nope. Didn't even say work product. Just denied. So I thought,
Really?
okay, yeah. So then I thought, okay, you know what? Screw it. And this is one of the requests I sent last year. I sent that request to the DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the ones I don't have yet.
Okay.
Still waiting on. 206 or 7 photos that Officer Block took. Hey, it could be he may have photographed nothing of relevance, but I don't know that until I look
Mm-mm.
at them.
Well, I think that the third and the fourth, um, they spent an awful lot of time, Manitowoc did, at Stephen's house, documented, even though they don't say that they did a lot. We know they were there from the phone activity and from the minimal reports and then their statements and their testimony, right? Because we know that they searched his house, they walked the property. We know Colburn took photos. Um, we know that there were certain things that were done by their own admission, yet we don't have any real narrative and we don't have any of the work that they did. I think Jinx was able to get a few photos from Colburn.
Yeah, she
Remember
got
those?
yeah, it's 2 rolls of film. I think one of them had yeah, yeah, I remember that. I've got them somewhere.
Yep. And I've always thought that that was such a minuscule amount of photos to take, and
Yep.
I'm sure there was more. And so then I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you want them? Because if I remember right, they took photos of Stephen's house, and you don't want to have those photos in the public domain if you went back and changed the view to insinuate something that you needed to sell a story that didn't jive with
It
what the evidence
what the photo
or the
showed. Yeah.
photos showed. Because you
Yeah.
remember there's that one call. There's one call, I think it's on the 6th, where it says the photos that you take, or what was it? The pictures that you took um aren't going to, how does it go? I was like, wow, they're basically saying don't turn them photos in because we've changed the scene.
Oh, I don't remember that
um
call.
you know, do you, it's what is it that they say um
I don't know. Well, I'll try to find it. I don't remember that call.
I'll have
I'm
to,
not
yeah,
I'm not doubting
it,
you at all.
I'll have to let me think on it. It's got
Okay.
to do with it's either on the 5th or the 6th, and it's got to do with the burn pit. Or the burn barrels. The and it's the photos you took aren't don't go. Oh, dadgummit.
Yeah, probably something with the burn bras because the pit wasn't even a. Well, I'm not gonna say it wasn't a thought yet, but you know what I mean.
Well, no, no, no. When I meant to say Stevens burn pit, not the
Right.
right, but it was either Stevens burn pit or it was one of the Dassey barrels. And basically, what they were saying is the photos that you took don't match what's in there now. That's what they're saying. So don't turn them photos in. That's not what they said to a T, but that's what they're alluding to. And that's, there's so much sliminess when it comes to those burn barrels too. And then we can go back to just how there's one brown tarp, and it's the one from Stephen's burn pit. All the other tarps are different color.
Well,
Oh,
and where did the tarp go that they used at Mickles Materials? We don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, I think it's the one that it got labeled as Stephen's burn pit because it's the
Well,
only one that's of a different color. It's the only one we don't have a photo of being loaded. We don't have
we don't have
any.
anything.
No,
Right. Duke has looked extensively into that, and it seems to have just disappeared. We just
no,
don't know.
no.
But I wanted to comment on Travis's comment. You all got more phone calls in the defense. Got more than Colburn's civil attorneys got. Pretty amazing. Well, it's been a lot of work by a lot of people. I appreciate the comment, but there's even more, and this is another area it's of side interest that, not case breaking or anything like that, but there are calls from Jody, but she's in jail, okay, December 6th or 7th through about January of '05 through about January 5th of 2006. There's a period there of about a month. I cannot get these calls, and I've asked for them numerous times. Don't tell me they don't exist, because I know she was calling other people, and they have calls from. We have a bunch of calls that she made. So what's going on in this time frame? I can't get these calls. So yeah. Anyway. All right, we've been here well over 3 hours. It's been a really great conversation with Christina, Susan, everyone. Maybe there might have been one more comment here I wanted to address before we jump out. Andy, you cheeky guy. The thing about being on the guilty side, I don't really care who's in the conversation. It's just be civil. Agree to disagree if you can't come to a consensus, and move on. Because sitting here right now, we're not going to change it. Calling each other names is not going to change a thing. It's just going to divert your attention away from what we really want, is the truth. We just want the truth. If something is handed to me today that I can see clearly that proves Stephen is guilty, okay, that's where I got to go. I have to, because otherwise I'm just a hypocrite.
Agreed. Me too. I feel the same way.
I mean, it doesn't take away from the absolute insanity that took place during that case, and that should be addressed as well. If we're going to address one, we have to address the other, because if that's not addressed, and I'm talking about the actions of the police, it's more hypocrisy. And just say, oh well, it's just a few bad apples. Sorry, you're playing with people's lives here. And you only get one, and time can never be replaced, ever. No amount of money will replace the time, or what may have happened to someone while they were locked up. Get the hell beat out of them, get threatened. It's just all kinds of terrible shit, man. Andy, don't go. You're so funny. Anyway, does anybody have anything to add? I'm not trying to run people off, but we've been on 3 hours, and I'm getting hungry.
I'm good, Jack.
Cool. Cherie?
I'll just tell Under Your Scars that other people have requested the same things Jack has, and with no luck.
Yep.
And it sometimes it comes down to getting it in front of someone on the right day, because we've written the same exact request and had it denied, and then had it submitted again, and boom, we get it. So it truly is. There's
And
no
verbiage, and the way you word it sometimes, a
Yeah.
word here and a word there, it can
Yep.
make the difference.
Yep. There's
Seriously.
so many. It should be a simple procedure.
Yep.
And it should be straightforward. But what I have learned doing these cases, researching and writing records requests, is when it comes to trying to achieve justice, when it's not something the other side is open to, they
Right.
don't really want the truth out there. It's not easy to get them to do the right thing. And
That's where the bias comes in.
that's right. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all go so you can go eat Jack's. But the YSL case, that ex parte hearing, the new judge said something, and now I understand why. Because apparently there was multiple ex parte hearings that the defense was unaware of. And the judge is like, I don't know why you're making such a big deal about not being informed about this ex parte hearing. Now, mind you, this is an ex parte hearing where the judge that was recused or removed from the case was with the prosecution, disparaging the defense attorneys without them there, accusing them of egregious crimes that if the defense attorneys had alleged them about the prosecutor or the judge, they would be, fined, held in contempt, sanctioned, all the things. And she's like, well, they mentioned they may need to have an ex parte. And so you knew it was a possibility. But she's not mentioning the fact that they had it, they chose not to notify the defense attorney. Then they tried to lie about it. Then they tried to keep the transcript from being given. And then you find out they had the ex parte, and the whole time they're bashing the defense attorneys in it. That's a big friggin' deal. And for
It
the
is.
judge to try and pretend like it isn't
That's
says
bad.
that, yeah, I mean, like, that's not justice.
No.
Aren't they
Not.
also like coercing the witness?
So I saw a clip where the guy repeatedly said, I do not wish to testify. I want to plead the fifth. Um, I'm not going to testify. I don't, yada, yada, yada. And they kept threatening him. They actually told him that they would keep him in jail until every defendant was tried, convicted. If he did not, and he still said no. Oh, and he had a lawyer, and they didn't even let his lawyer come into the ex parte with him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. And the judge that is now sitting on the case is acting like, oh, that's just normal operating procedure.
I
It
thought I
can
just
be.
read, Christina, where this new judge had an ex parte meeting.
Oh, the woman did?
Whoever the
That's
new
Really?
judge is.
that's
Really?
going to be interesting. Because,
I just saw a headline, actually.
yeah, I'll have to look into that. So there's three, this is the third judge. All
Oh
right.
my God.
This case is like dealing with alleged things that occurred in 2014, 2015 when these guys were kids. I mean, I think 16, 17, 18 years old, because they're not
Or
very old
children.
now.
And
Children.
hasn't it been going over a year, this
I think
trial?
so. I think so. I've only been paying attention to it, not really complete attention, for like a week. And that's just because it reminds me so much of what was done to Stephen and Brendan. Just how slimy and how egotistical the DAs were, and then I can't help but think about that judge and how he reminded me of Fox. Remember Manitowoc County wrote that letter saying, we don't care where Stephen Avery's trial
Yep.
is held at, as long as Judge Fox is the judge, or Judge Willis is the judge.
Willis. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Like, how do you get to choose who the judge is, and why do you care?
Right.
If you
Exactly.
don't have a horse in the race, and this isn't about the $36 million, why do you care what judge is sitting on there?
That's right. That's exactly right.
You're
That's
not even
to
a
me that
criminal. You're not even a criminal, people. You're the city, county, or the Manitowoc County attorneys for the bill paying department, not the criminal department.
I mean it's I mean, to me that's was almost judicial interference to me. I don't know.
Uh-uh.
Andrew
And
Scar says, is there a list of what's remaining to acquire as far as record requests? No. There's not. You know, there's.
We
It was
talked
suggest.
about that, didn't we? We talked about
Well,
it at one
yeah,
time, trying to, but
yeah.
there's so much in this case. I actually thought, you want to talk about, I actually thought I was going to teach myself how to build a database system, put it on the
That's
cloud,
that's
and
that's
convince
difficult.
people, yeah, convince people to help me input data in so we could run queries to try and look for patterns, so and things like that, to see what is out there, what we still need to acquire, because
Yeah, I mean, there's the discovery list, of course, the discovery email that Kratz sent to Loy and String and Beauty, but and that's a good starting point, and
Mhm.
we have a good portion of that material. Um, Again, some of that stuff is like I said earlier, like that 206 photos that Officer Block took. Well, CD doesn't work anymore. Denied. You can't have it.
I
It's
wonder
like
if KZ has that.
I don't know. I don't. I really don't know. I would imagine if Beauty and String had a copy of that, which I would imagine they did because it was in the discovery email,
Hmm.
that all that passed from them to her because she's the attorney of record. So she probably does. I have not asked her for a copy of that, and I doubt that she would give it to me even if I did request it. But the DOJ should have a copy of it, a working copy. But again, I'm in limbo waiting.
Yeah.
I
Have
would
we done?
imagine that
Go
I
ahead,
would
Susan.
imagine that KZ only has what was used for the trial, and they didn't
Well,
use every single
I
photograph.
know that she has the stuff from the 85 case, and I know
Yeah.
Well,
that
plus
because
anything she's FOIA'd, yeah.
well,
And
I know she has everything from the 85 case because I contacted, what was his
Wh-
name?
Glenn,
I,
Glenn or
I
Kelly.
yeah, I spoke with Kelly personally, and he told me that he gave her everything he had.
yeah,
And so I would love to open a dialogue with her about trying to obtain, if nothing else, uh, as a starting point, a copy of the 85 stuff, because
I'd
Yeah.
love the transcript of that trial.
yep,
Yeah.
I would love the transcript, and I would love any of the police reports, from from the Gregory Island stuff that may be in there, because I still think Gregory Allen is the key to unraveling this mess. If we could present it on the right to the right person in the right and in the right way, where they understand what was at stake during that time, because Teresa Halbach's disappearance on October 31st, of all days, not the day before, on that day, was imperative to keeping Gregory Allen's exploits from being made public, and keeping and it shifted Stephen Avery from being a victim to being a criminal.
Pendant. Yep.
He went from
Yeah.
being a he went from being a victim, being someone that the public felt sorry for, to they now had a narrative to introduce to the media that made him back into a monster. And they did
Right.
it on all days, of all days, to have that narrative begin. It was begun on Halloween.
Yep.
It's, you
It's
know,
crazy.
it is there's just way too many just pivotal things that occurred that after one or two, they're just not all coincidences, in my opinion.
I think that even if that hadn't happened, I'm convinced something would have happened to have delayed or got the depositions killed, which of course
Yep.
this did. But
That's
anyway,
just like, yeah, we can go on, and so we're gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
well, I will say that I did process the 85 case from Manitowoc County, the Manitowoc County clerk, the entire thing, which included the police reports and all that. And she told me $4,872, I think, for the entire thing. $4,872. So $5,000.
Time to have a bake sale.
Yeah. And a bunch of car washes.
No doubt. No doubt. And a calendar. It better be a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, I want to thank everyone that's went along with, listening to these calls. A lot of times they were mind numbing, they were irritating or frustrating and difficult to get through, but we did. I really want to thank everyone for doing that, picking up on this and that. And, again, this is not ground, and I know this is not ground shattering stuff, but it gives fabric to the case. It gives some, well, I guess fabric is the best word, to what was going on with these dispatch operators and these various officers that were involved, pieces of this puzzle, and finding out that things were not exactly how they were kind of presented to the public. Been tough. Been several couple of months now. We'll go more than that if you want to add the Manitowoc County dispatch calls and radio transmissions. Even tougher, or even longer, I should say, not tougher. So it goes back several months, but it's been a great project, a lot of great conversations. So thanks a lot for that. We'll see what comes next. I don't know. I'm still deciding. And again, if anyone has any ideas, hey, shoot them my way. I'm open for discussion on what to do next. I don't want to beat the information to people and just keep repeating the same thing over. There's a lot of interesting areas in the case that we could talk about that we have. So, but anyway, shoot me your ideas, thoughts, suggestions. Christina, we'll get together soon with with the gang and have a conversation. And I want to thank you so much for coming back. It's been a great conversation tonight. So thanks for that.
Yep. Yep. Y'all too. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have been able to participate. And everyone have a good night.
Absolutely. And with that, Susan, you said you didn't have anything. Cherie, you got anything you want to add before
I'll
we
just
jump
say
out?
good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm good too. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, I want to say, good night, everyone. And this has been a Foul Play production.